break, then come on back and give you the lineups and the starting goaltenders. Then it will be time for puck drop here at Lee's Family Forum. That's coming up next on the Henderson Silver Knights pregame show right here on 1230 The Game.
Back to the Henderson Silver Knights pregame show on the home of the Silver Knights, 1230 The Game.
Doug Latuca back with you to wrap up the Henderson Silver Knights pregame show for Lee's Family Forum. It's the opening game of this weekend set here at Lee's. Games 4 and 5 out of 8 between these two teams. Silver Knights 2-1 against the Firebirds this season. Silver Knights happy to be back home where they have points in 7 of their last 8, but just 1 win in their last 10 games coming in. Let's give you the lines for both teams, starting with the visiting Coachella Valley Firebirds. They have the top line of Logan Morrison in the middle, of Yanni Neiman on the left and Jagger Furcus on the right. Second line features Mitchell Stevens with Leighton Road left wing, John Hayden on the right wing. Third line is Andre Lashko centering Edward Chalet on the left and Carson Rekkop on the right. And on the fourth line, it's Yakov Novak in the middle of Ian McKinnon and David Goyette. On the blue line, Gustav Olofsson paired with Ty Nelson. Second pair has Tyson Jugnoth in Ville Atavainen. And the third pair with Charlie Wright and Lucas Dravicevic. In goal, it's Victor Ostman. This will be his 22nd appearance. He's 9-9-3 with a 2.92 goals against and a 904 save percentage. You remember back on the 10th of January, he relieved the injured Nike Koko, who played just 3 minutes and allowed a goal. Ostman came in, played 57 minutes, 31 saves on 32 shots in the Firebirds' lone win against the Silver Knights this year. The lines for the Silver Knights, it's got Tanner Lazinski, the Silver Knights all-star rep, with Raphael Lavoie on the left, made that appearance back after 26 games out on Wednesday against San Diego, and Ben Hemmerling is on the right wing. Second line, Matthias Sapovalov with Trevor Connolly and Tuomas Juronen. Third line features Matthew Cataford in the middle of Jackson Hallam and Sloan Stanek back in. Riley McKay is out. Jordan Gustafson centers the fourth line with Mitch McLean and Joe Fleming. Defensively, it's Jacob Megna with Dylan Coughlin, Jeremy Davies and Lucas Cormier, and the third pair, Christopher Setoff and William Kometz. Cameron Whitehead between the pipes for the Silver Knights. It'll be his 9th appearance. He's 3-3-2 with a .337 goals against and an .876 save percentage. Silver Knights trying to get back on track, looking for a win to start off the weekend. as they go up against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. That'll do it for the HSK pregame show. Brian McCormick has the play-by-play. Coming up next on 12:30 The Game.
The puck comes in front. LeBlanc one-timer scores.
Here we go. It's time.
Zapavala to the backhand scores.
The Henderson Silver Knights are on 12:30 The Game.
To the Pregame, Bowman scores.
Let's drop the puck and send it to the booth. Here's Brian McCormick.
Here we go, live from Lee's in the heart of Henderson. This is Henderson Silver Knights hockey, and tonight, the fourth meeting of the season between the Henderson Silver Knights and the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Hello friends, great to have you with us. Brian McCormick here with you. The Henderson Silver Knights back on home ice for the final two games before the All-Star break. And the Silver Knights are going to run through the finish line and pick up some important points in the process as they come into the weekend still outside the playoff picture. Looking in, they are 3 points back of 7th place Tucson with a couple of games in hand, but for the Silver Knights coming off a challenging road swing, winless in their 3 games, 2 in Texas, and then Wednesday night in San Diego, 0-2-1 during that stretch. And Wednesday night in San Diego, uncharacteristically, the Silver Knights having a rougher defensive night than we've seen of late. They gave up only 26 shots on goal to the top shot producing team in the American Hockey League, but 6 goals against Jesper Vikman and an empty netter added for good measure, a 7-4 San Diego win. So the Silver Knights are going to bounce back after Wednesday was a day in which they got a lot of big contributors back into the lineup. It helped them offensively, but not quite in sorts defensively. Among the players who came back into the lineup, Tanner Lazinski and Dylan Coughlin returning from the VGK. Returning from injury, Raphael Lavoie, after a 26-game absence with a lower body injury. He came back into the lineup, and well, he looked like Raphael Lavoie with a goal, an assist, and 8 shots on goal. He has points in 14 of 15 games he has appeared in this season. He was riding a 10-game point streak prior to his injury departure, so Raphael Lavoie was electric in his return. Silver Knights will certainly welcome more of that, especially with a power play that's clicking of late. The Silver Knights have power play goals in 6 consecutive games. They are 8 for their last 29. The Firebirds have given up 5 power play goals in their last 4 contests, and while the Silver Knights have struggled on the road, they've been very good on home ice this season, and that includes recent results, 5-1-2 in their last 8 games at Lee's Family Forum. They take on a Firebirds team that is 5th in the Pacific, but 1-3-1 over their last 5 games for the Firebirds. 5 of their last 6 contests have been decided by 1 goal. We'll step out. When we come back, we'll have our goaltending matchups, starting lineups, and the drop of the puck. It's the Henderson Silver Knights and the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Hockey for Henderson's coming your way next.
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Back at Lee's, Brian McCormick here with you. Silver Knights and Firebirds, a pair of contests to send us into the All-Star break. Take a look at our starting lineups. And for the Firebirds, they'll start up front with John Hayden, Leighton Road, and Mitchell Stevens, Gustav Olofsson, and Ty Nelson on the back end. Silver Knights respond with Tanner Lazinski, Raphael Lavoie, and Ben Hemmerling. Lucas Cormier with a 6-game point streak is on defense with Jeremy Davies. Tonight's goaltending matchup, Victor Osman gets the call for the Firebirds, his 22nd appearance of the season, 9-9-3 with a .292 goals against and .904 save percentage. The Hendy is Cameron Whitehead, his 9th appearance, 3-3-2 with a .337 goals against and .876 save percentage. Tonight's referees wearing the armbands, calling balls and strikes. Morgan McPhee is with Hayden Verbeek. The linesmen are Aaron Story and Adam Hendren. Derek Laxdal is the head coach of the Firebirds. Silver Knights led as always by head coach Ryan Craig, as Tanner Lazinski ready at center ice with Stevens, who pulls it back, and we are underway on a Friday night in Henderson. Firebirds control first, but a pass out to center was intercepted by Tanner Lazinski. Now Olofsson slides it out to center. Hayden couldn't handle it. Silver Knights will regroup at their own blue line as Cormier, a stretch pass for Hemmerling, off the mark and all the way down. Icing called against the Silver Knights. Well, Silver Knights have been getting off to good starts. They did not score first on Wednesday. That snapped a streak of 6 consecutive games in which they had scored the game's first goal. Still, over their last dozen games, they are a +11 in first periods. Firebirds have been a pretty even team in first and seconds. They've been strongest in third periods, where they're a +9. Silver Knights have given up 15 goals in third periods over their last 10 games, so the good start has been important for the HSK. Lavoie in his own zone, backhands out to center, glove down by Hemmerling, back for Lavoie, left wing over the Coachella line. Poke checked off his stick by Jugnoff. Now Lavoie back with it in left wing corner. Carries behind the net. Into the near corner, trying to send one out in front. Bump to the wall, Stevens took it away. Firebirds control. And it's sent out to center, a pass that was intended for Road, intercepted by Cormier. Another pass through center that missed the mark, but no icing here. Silver Knights will get a change. Onto the ice for the Silver Knights, Sapovalov, Euronin, and Connolly up front. Jugnoff on the left wing, pass out to center off the stick of Yanni Newman, chased it to the Henderson line but couldn't get to it. Taken back instead by Jagger Firkus into the zone, but he carries in offside. Jagger Firkus and Logan Morrison both tied for the team lead for the Firebirds with 40 points each, but it's been tough sledding of late for Firkus. Goals in just one of his last 15 contests. He had 2 goals back on February the 1st. So they hope he's coming around and out of it. Meanwhile, Logan Morrison has points in 10 of his last 12, and Yanni Newman has 8 goals in 10. He's been terrific for the Firebirds since being sent down by Seattle. Megna dumps it down to the Coachella zone. Karam's around. Newman played it to the middle of the ice. Now it's swatted far wall for Firkus. Unable to get out as it was poked back in deep by Megna. Second effort. The Firebirds are out through center. This is Morrison. Over the Henderson line, gives right side Firkus. Pass across intended for Newman, broken up. Good stick by Coughlin. And Sloan Stanek has it back through center. Stanek was not in the lineup Wednesday, back in today. He'll pitch it deep as the Silver Knights go for a change. Silver Knights in their white jerseys, dark and gold trim, white helmets. They go left to right in this first period. Firebirds in their navy blues, red, teal, orange trim. They go from right to left, the AHL affiliate of the Seattle Kraken. And by the way, these color arrangements will change after the All-Star break. After that point, home teams will wear their dark jerseys more often than not. Silver Knights into the zone. Sapovalov was defended and lost the puck. Then a big hit by Tuomas Euronin as he put a shoulder into Olofsson. Firebirds away with it regardless. On the left wing side, Chalet forced into the near corner by William Kometz. William Kometz left the game injured on Wednesday, took a stick up high. He's back in the lineup tonight, not wearing the bubble. Chalet loops back in his own zone, drops it back for Ty Nelson, and the Firebirds will wait as they finish a change. 2.5 gone in a scoreless first period. Still waiting for our first registered shot on goal. Here's McKinnon on the right wing, threw one towards the front. He was looking for Novak, and that was defended well in front by Cormier. Silver Knights pitch it down to the Coachella line. Otavainen back for it in his own zone, gave it away in front of the benches to Gustafsson. Jordan Gustafsson picked up his first point with an assist on Wednesday. This is Cormier backhanding it behind the Coachella net. Firebirds able to move it ahead as Goyette dropped it back at his own blue line. McKinnon backhands through center. Left wing Novak gains the zone, the left wing side, dumps it cross corner. Picked up by Jeremy Davies. Firebirds are changing. Fleming has room through neutral ice, and over the red line, he'll send it deep. Otavainen back behind his zone net for Coachella. Silver Knights have won 2 of the 3 meetings between these two teams. 1 in each building. Jugnoth on the left wing with room. Snaps one out to center, intercepted by Hemmerling. His pass out to center is picked off by Otavainen. Into the offensive zone, right wing, wrist shot, blocker save, Whitehead. Rebound in front, and another save by Whitehead as he flashed the pad on Hayden. Now right at the left point, Wright will swing it behind the net. First challenge for Whitehead. Rode from the slot, wired one wide. Down from the point, Dragicevic into the right wing corner. Curls back, plays it back to the blue line. Hayden a shot, blocked by Lavoie. Hayden still able to hold it on the far side. Now gives it away to Megna, but Megna can't clear. Dragicevic held it in on the line. Now a good defensive play by Lavoie. He banks the puck out to center. Silver Knights will change as Wright goes back in his own zone to regroup with Dragicevic. Outlet pass went off the skate of Morrison. He has to loop deeper into his own zone. Now Dragicevic, pressure by Cataford, will hoist it out to center, and Setoff will take over for the Silver Knights at their own blue line. Setoff out in front of the benches. Stanek chipped it in, but off the linesman. In the process, the Silver Knights inadvertently put themselves offside. 4:20 gone, scoreless first period, and the first challenge of the game comes for Cameron Whitehead, who made a good left pad save on John Hayden after a rebound from the right wing side. The Otavainen wrister was spilled out in front. Hayden was right there, and Whitehead had to push over and then drag that left leg behind him to get the stop. Face-off is to the right of Osman, as I believe this was an errant offside whistle, so they bring the face-off into the zone. Firebirds win it. And Olofsson sends out to center. Newman at the Henderson line will wind it in. Delayed offside against the Firebirds, so Kometz can pick it up behind his own net. He'll mosey his way up the middle of the ice. Now sends one out to center, looking for Euronin over his stick and all the way down. Firebirds thought there was an icing. It's waved off again. That's 2 times the Firebirds have been surprised by waved off icings, and they turn it over. Pass it in front. Sapovalov jammed a shot wide on the feed from Connolly. Newman skates it out to center. Morrison over the red line will send it down. Whitehead stops it behind his own net, plays it to the far side. Given up by Setoff, and a save by Whitehead at the side of the net. That was coughed up right to Newman. As the Silver Knights swipe it out to center, and the Firebirds a quick regroup, move it ahead again. Newman will chip it in. Firebirds will change. Setoff has it at his own dots. Goes D-to-D with Kometz on the right wing side. Pass to the Coachella line. This is Cataford in on the right wing. Tried to center it, bounced off Jugnoth and went in deep. Rakoff under pressure. Chalet took a hit from Cataford. Jugnoth over to help for the Firebirds. Can't get it up the boards. Now it's behind the Coachella net. Stanek got to the side of the net. Save made by Osman on Hallam, and he covers. Good forecheck work by Stanek and Cataford below the hash marks, and it came up right above the blue paint for a stuff attempt by Jackson Hallam. And Victor Osman, who is right along his goal line, as deep as he could be, got the pads down to make the stop. 5.5 gone, scoreless first. Silver Knights fans, follow along for all the fun with the Silver Knights on social media. News, interviews, highlights, behind-the-scenes entertainment, all available on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Face-off is to Ostman's right. False start on the face-off. Gustafsson will be excused. Mitch McLean will take the draw instead. McLean with power play goals in back-to-back contests, squaring off with Stevens. Face-off win, back to the right point. Cormier will spin it behind the Coachella net. Travels all the way up the near wall. And getting over to it is Leighton Road, who will power his way to the red line and send it all the way in. Whitehead behind the net, plays it up the near wall. He's got Fleming. Fleming out to center looking for McLean. Slowed down by Jugnoth, but it finds Gustafsson. His wrist shot blocked by Otavainen into the corner. Near side, McLean. Back to the right point, Cormier. Left point, Davies. Nice move to the inside. High slot, poked off his stick as Stevens came over defensively. And the Firebirds take it away. And it's laid down into the Henderson zone by Hayden as the Firebirds change. Bad pass for the Silver Knights, as it was taken by McKinnon, but outside the zone, so he'll dump it in as the Firebirds touch up. And Cormier goes back behind his own net. Lucas Cormier, a 6-game point streak, 7 points during that stretch. Gives to the right side, Hemmerling into the offensive zone. Into the slot for Lazinski. Now Lavoie in too tight, couldn't get a shot off. It goes in behind the net. Lazinski knocks it out to the right point for Kometz. Wrist shot, sails wide of the cage. Goyette on the far wall, meets Setoff. The puck pops high in the air on the far half wall. Finding it was Goyette, gave it rink wide. Charlie Wright will get to the red line, and he'll send it all the way in. Puck caroms around to the right wing boards. McKinnon is on it there. Ian McKinnon back to the blue line. Firebirds were changing, so no one can touch it. It'll go all the way back behind the Coachella net. Osman will stop it. Wright will collect it. 7 minutes gone in a scoreless first period. 3-1 the shots in favor of the Firebirds as the puck is dumped in. Good stick by Connolly as he lifted Ferkus's blade and gets it out to center. Here's Euronin. Tried to lead Sapovalov to the net. Pass was knocked out of the air. Good defensive work by Nelson. As the Firebirds regroup, Nelson has Newman in the neutral zone. Met by Magnet, he'll dump it in, far corner. Morrison and Connolly after it. Morrison got to it, fed the slot. Ferkus' shot saved by Whitehead. Rebound free, Euronin finds it. Sapovalov will skate it clear. Feeds the right wing, Connolly out of his reach. Goes down behind the Coachella net. Nelson gave for Morrison off the glass. Glove down at the blue line by Magnus, stays in the zone. Handled the left wing corner for Connolly. Behind the net, met by Nelson, stick tied up, lost the puck. Ferkus on the right wing side will chip it past Sapovalov and out to neutral ice. Well, Cameron Whitehead's already had a couple of bang-bang looks right in front, and he's been up to the challenge. Coughlin from the neutral zone puts it on goal. Osman gloves it and has no choice but to hang on to it. And the whistle stops play. 8 minutes gone first period. And with that, we will take a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game. No score at Lee's Family Forum on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Silver Knights fans, Lucky and Harold the Town Crier invite you to try your luck for every Silver Knights home game. Take part in the 52-48 raffle. Enter each home game's drawing with a chance to win 52% of the evening's total pot, and also contribute to benefit the HSK Foundation and their charitable efforts in the Henderson community. If you're not at the game and if you are present in Nevada, you can play from home. Visit HendersonSilverKnights.com. The 52-48 raffle, the odds are better in Vegas, but they're always best in Henderson. Face-off coming to the left of Osman in the Coachella zone. No score, 8 minutes gone first period. Shots are 4-2 Firebirds. Couple of high-quality looks for the Firebirds, and a good start to the game for Cameron Whitehead as the Silver Knights will chase the puck back into their own zone. It's Cormier chased behind the net. Now taken hard to the boards by Rode. Penalty upcoming, it's going to be against Rode. As the touch is made, Rode is being called for hooking. He's arguing that Lucas Cormier chicken winged the stick. But it is going to be a Henderson power play, the first power play of the night, 8:05 into period one. Silver Knights power play with goals in 6 straight games. They're 8 for their last 29. 12th overall this season at 20%. Firebirds 28th on the penalty kill at 77.6%. They've given up 5 power play goals in their last 4 contests. Face-off is to Ostman's left. Silver Knights start with McLean, Lazinski, Connolly, Lavoie, and Cormier on this power play. As John Hayden has it for Coachella, he'll fire at the length of the ice. Whitehead stops it, Cormier picks it up. This is already a dramatically different looking power play than a week and a half ago with the additions of Lazinski and Lavoie. And a week and a half ago, the power play was doing pretty well too. Silver Knights have it left point is Connolly. Threw it down low, but gave it away, and Nelson will hoist it the length of the ice on goal as Whitehead steers it to the corner. Picked up by Cormier. He'll leave it back in his own zone for Connolly. He'll weave through center. Connolly gets to the Coachella line, right wing for Lavoie. Lavoie tied up. Ottavine took it away, but then gave it away. Lazinski has a right wing corner. Swings it around to the left wing half wall. McLean on it there. Ferkus on him. Now McLean, right wing corner. Connolly controls. Connolly trying to spin on right. He's taken to the boards. 1:05 left on the power play. Puck still pinned in the near corner. Lazinski trying to dig it free. Otavainen and Wright are both in there for Coachella. Puck does squeeze out to the far side. Firkus hacks it up the wall and it rolls out to neutral ice. Firebirds get a few new penalty killers on. Silver Knights get most of the second unit out. In fact, they'll get everyone but Cormier on as Cormier waits in his own end. And now Cormier leaves it back in his own zone. Coughlin will hop out with Sapovaliv, Davies, Hemmerling, and Juronen. Into the zone, Davies tried to lead Juronen to the net, or Hemmerling to the net, excuse me. It was intercepted, sent all the way down. Silver Knights will start from 200 feet away once again with 30 seconds before Leighton Road can return from his hooking minor. Coughlin out to center, leaves it back. This is Hemmerling over the Coachella line, driving towards the net. He was knocked off the puck by Nelson. It goes in behind, swung around to the far side. Left point, Coughlin holds in. Right point, Juronen walks it. His pass down low, looking for Hemmerling, went off a skate. Left corner, Sapovaliv has it. Right corner for Davies, who's in deep. He'll work above the right circle. Davies tried to feed it in front. Pass knocked down. Bouncing at the side of the net. Hayden will find it. Spins off a check. 2 seconds in one. We are back to 5-on-5 as Road is out of the box. Silver Knights power play is 0 for 1. Puck still deep in the Coachella zone. Right wing corner is Davies. Davies had poked off his stick by Olofsson. And Olofsson skates it out to center. Now gives right wing. Firebirds into the zone. Firkus will chase it behind the Henderson net. Cut off there by Coughlin. Coughlin banks it up the far wall. Stanek is challenged by Newman, able to fight through that stick check and gets help from Sapovaliv to bounce it down to the Coachella line. Quick up for the Firebirds, back on the attack. Left wing Morrison pulls up, leaves it back to the point for Jugnoff. Jugnoff carrying to the left wing corner, threw and across, it went off a skate. Firkus has the left wing corner now. 9:15 to go in a scoreless first period. Dragicevic back to the blue line. Morrison fanned on the one-timer. Taken away by Cataford. Nearly pickpocketed from behind, but Komets follows up. Silver Knights on the rush. Here's Komets, high slot. A wrist shot blocked by Jugnoff. It goes up into the mesh and out of play. And a little sword fighting after the fact as William Komets gave a whack to Dragicevic. Newman came over to talk to him about it. And officials will step in. Nothing will come from that. Silver Knights have been a little scrappier of late. 2 fights on Wednesday in San Diego for Riley McKay and for Joe Fleming. But for now, everyone's gloves stay on. With 9 minutes to go, scoreless first period. We'll take a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network. Right side, Bowman looking, side of the net for McLean. Backhander scores!
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
9 minutes remaining, no score first period, at least Family Forum. Silver Knights unsuccessful on their first power play look. Cameron Whitehead has had a couple of solid stops against some of Coachella's top goal scoring talent, including Jagger Firkus. Faceoff will be coming to the left of Victor Osman. Victor Osman, who is 0-3-1 in his last 4 outings, but he's given up 10 goals in that stretch. He's played pretty well, over 40 saves his last time out, just hasn't gotten the run support of late. Silver Knights win the offensive zone face-off. Stanek, a shot slid wide of the net, picked up off the end boards, and set off Jansen on goal save. Osman rebound, another stop on Stanek. Stanek gets to it again, right circle. Into the corner, handled by Hallam, carries high in the zone, trying to shake off Loshko, feeds the slot, but that's taken away by Rakoff, and he'll send out to center. Edward Chalet had go out of his reach and all the way down. Icing called as Komets wins the race to it. Well, a good look for Christopher Setoff after Sloan Stanek, a wrister off the face-off win. It was a hard, low shot that missed the net. Shouldn't even say it was that hard. It was moderately hard, and it was hard enough to hit the kick plate and come out at an angle at the other side, and Osman couldn't reach out to play. It just kind of drifted to the bottom of the far circle, and Setoff able to corral it, pick it up, and force his way to the front for a jam attempt and a mad scramble, and Sloan Stanek nearly gave the Silver Knights a 1-0 lead. Instead, this face-off after the icing whistle is to the left of Osman. And off the face-off win for the Firebirds, Jugnoff lifts it high in the air. It lands in the zone. And it's handled by Lazinski on the left wing side. Cuts to the middle. Shot save made by Osman. Jugnoff lifted that way up in the air, but he didn't have enough on to get it to go out of the end. Point shot by Cormier was blocked in front. Behind the net, Lavoie has it. Pass out to the far circle for Hemmerling was there, headed by Chalet. He couldn't get it out, and then he ran through Cormier, got a stick up. Silver Knights looking for a call, but none coming as the puck is at center in front of the benches. Rakov leaves it back in his own zone. Otavainen has it. The Firebirds got a badly needed change. Silver Knights change as well, so Otavainen will take the ice given to him, gets to the red line and wraps it in. Hard around the boards, so hard in fact that Otavainen's going to pick it up again at his own blue line. He'll go D to D with Olofsson out to center. Novak chips it in, it goes on goal, and Whitehead is going to cover it up with McKinnon in the area. Well, again, that was so unusual. Jugnoff of a face-off win went for the hoist, the high hoist out to the neutral zone. And that was like using a sand wedge where an 8-iron would have done the job. That went so high up in the air, it landed 5 feet inside the blue line. And from our vantage point, miraculous that somehow didn't hit anything. Face off to Whitehead's left after he covered the puck. 7:40 left in a scoreless first period. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Nelson from the blue line, a drive that deflected over the top of the net. Looked like Newman got a piece of it on the way by. Fleming looking to clear up the near wall. He pins it to the boards as he's harassed by Firkus and Newman. Puck still pinned along the half wall. Newman trying to dig it out. Now it does come free. Left point Olofsson, right point Nelson. Nelson, wrist shot blocked by Megna, deflects behind the net. This is Morrison out to the left point for Olofsson. High slot Firkus, wrist shot, save Whitehead. Rebound free, it's jammed just wide by Morrison. Good stick on stick by Megna. He got just enough of Morrison that he couldn't steer it on goal. Silver Knights get out to center. Quick regroup, Firkus is back in. Left side for Morrison. Pulls up, looking towards the net, now throws it on goal. Save Whitehead, rebound was there again, but Megna knocked it to the corner. Firebirds stay on it. Left point Olofsson, puck towards the net, glove down by Megna. Bounces high slot, Firkus again holds in. Sent it towards the net, batted away with the glove by Megna as he kept it away from Newman. Strong shift for Jacob Megna as now Coughlin has it behind his own net. Firebirds are changing. Coughlin takes his time in the trapezoid with 6.5 to go in period one. Now Coughlin will carry up the middle of the ice, pass out to center off of Sapovalov. He lost it at the blue line to Dragosivic. Quick regroup for the Firebirds in their own end. And Dragosivic, a bank pass out to center that Goyette chips and chases into the zone. Near corner closed off by Coughlin. Now Kometz escapes from Novak. He overskated the puck and Novak takes it away. Novak right wing boards, bumped by Euronin, lost the puck, and it's cleared out by Connolly. And that will go up into the Coachella bench and that'll stop play. Seven are the shots. Firebirds have had some good extended sequences in the offensive zone, particularly that top line of Morrison, Firkus, and Newman. That's been the most dangerous for Coachella thus far. And a really strong shift by Jacob Megna using his size in front. Jacob Megna 6'6", Yanni Newman 6'4", and there were a couple of jump balls on that shift in front of Cameron Whitehead. And Megna able to maintain inside position, do his work. Face off to the left of Whitehead, but a false start on the face-off. Stevens jumped the gun. He's going to be thrown out. Hayden on the draw instead against Matthew Cataford. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Down from the right point is Jugnoff into the right wing corner. Backhands one in front, went all the way through, and Stanek is going to chase it down. Silver Knights 3-on-2 if they hurry, but Stanek under pressure from Hayden just dumps it in. Near corner. Jugnoff will get away from Stanek, gets support from Hayden, and now out to center. This is Ville Otavainen over the Henderson line. Left wing for Rode, tried to go back. It was blocked down by Kometz. Puck in the near corner, Kometz on it. Escape behind the net for a set-off. Set-off, stretch pass intended for Cataford, goes all the way down. Cataford's going to beat out the icing whistle. Cataford, right wing corner, protecting the puck as he's pinned to the wall by Otavainen. Hallam comes in to help. Silver Knights working below the goal line in the Coachella zone. Cataford able to shove the puck out to the right point. Cormier, left point. Davies, wrist shot, glove save made by Osman. And he'll hang on for the whistle. 5:20 remaining in the first. Good tempo in this first period, but no score yet. We'll take a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.
Greetings. Henderson has What is this? What's going on? No. Oh, come on. No. I've been working so hard on this. Come on. Wait. I have Cox business to protect me from this attack. In this evolving digital age, security is paramount. That's why Cox Business stands as a beacon of security. With tools like Malblock, which fortifies your defenses against the insidious threats of malware, protecting you against DDoS attacks. With Cox Business at your side, you can navigate the digital landscape with confidence, knowing that your business is safe and secure from the threats that lurk in the shadows. Huzzah!
Hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Silver Knights fans, people are talking about the Silver Knights, and so are we. Join us every week for Horsing Around, the Silver Knights podcast. Darren Elliott and I sit down each week with your favorite players, coaches, experts from around the AHL and NHL world. New episodes drop every week on the HSK YouTube channel. Tune in. Let us know who you want to hear from next. Every week, we're Horsing Around. It's a little bit of a lie because we are taking the All-Star break off, but after the All-Star break, we'll be right back at. Raphael Lavoie says he wants to be on the show. He has much to say, so hopefully we can have Raphael Lavoie as our next guest now that he is back healthy and in the HSK lineup. No score, 5:20 left, first period. Face off to the right of Osman. Silver Knights win it. Lavoie shot missed the net wide. Carry off the boards. Coughlin, a shot saved by Osman. Leaning from left to right as he knocked it down. Osman's lost his stick. It's in the blue paint. Now he's got it back. Here's a look from Hemmerling from the slot. Save made by Osman. Rebound Morrison will leave it back behind his own net for Jugnoff. A couple of solid stops by Osman, including one that was a 2009 Marc-Andre Fleury impersonation. Here's Morrison on the rush. Left wing fires over the top of the net. Off the carom, it's picked up by Megna. He'll send back out to center. Hemmerling with speed over the line. Gives left side for Lazinski. In front for Lavoie. He chips it wide. First line for the Silver Knights with all kinds of speed. Tanner Lazinski after it now. Left wing half wall. Lazinski with 8 points against the Firebirds this season. A lot of that achieved in a 5-point performance back on January the 7th. The first 5-point game in Silver Knights history as the puck shoved out to center by Olofsson. Back towards the bench. We're off the skate of Hemmerling as he was changing, so the Silver Knights have it at their own blue line. Connolly challenged in the neutral zone by Loshko, had knocked off his stick. Sapoval was there to support, however, and he'll dump it in cross corner. Euronin on the forecheck against Nelson. Raykopf back to help for Coachella. Off the glass and out. Between the blue lines, Setoff will regroup in his own zone with Kometz. Up the middle of the ice, off of Connolly, all the way down again. Nelson, far corner. Tried to reverse it, gave it away. Connolly intercepts. Out of the near corner, Connolly centers. It was knocked away by Loshko. Down for the left point, Setoff is in deep. Working into the trapezoid. Good pressure shift for the Silver Knights. 3:45 left in a scoreless first period. Puck is pinned behind the Coachella net. Euronin trying to dig it out. He's got Olofsson on him. Nelson in there trying to work it out as well. Setoff is pinning it. Now out of the left wing corner, Sapovalov controls. Down from the left point, Connolly into the circle. Connolly driving to the net, backhander save Osman. Rebound swatted high in the zone, picked up by Chalet. He'll get to the red line, he'll dump it in, and the Firebirds will change. Another strong sequence for the Silver Knights after Setoff got deep in the zone, pinned it to the wall, kept it alive. Silver Knights defensemen have been activated below the dots in this first period. Kometz with a pass out to center. McLean chips it in. Silver Knights go to forecheck work again. Gustafsson, left wing corner, got to it first. Dragicevic lifted his stick, took it away. And on the left wing, Charlie Wright will snap it out to center. This is Goyette, had hop over his stick. Cormier goes D to D behind his own net. Davies up the left side. Gustafsson, now Fleming. Overskates in the neutral zone. He pulled the stick out of Novak's hands. Firebirds wanted a holding the stick call, but none coming, as Cormier will regroup back in his own end with Davies. Silver Knights get a break there. This is Davies through the neutral zone over the Coachella line. Wrist shot from the slot, gloved by Osman, and he hangs on for the whistle. And Mitch McLean coming over for a couple of words with Ian McKinnon. Ian McKinnon, who, again, if someone's going to drop the gloves in this game, he's a mighty good candidate. 142 penalty minutes in 36 games this season for Ian McKinnon. And if you're looking for some reference, the leading penalty minute man for the Silver Knights is Joe Fleming with 84. And that's after a fairly spirited week where he's been racking them up a bit over the course of their 3-game road swing. 2.5 to play first period. Silver Knights out shooting the Firebirds 11-7, but no score yet. Face-off will, well, false start. They're going to let Stevens and Cataford both stay in and try again to the left of Osman. Off this drop, Cataford gets it back to the right point. Cormier, left point, Davies, back for Cormier. One-timer blocked by Rode. It goes high off the glass. It stays in play. Behind the Coachella net, it's taken by Stanek out to the point. Cormier fakes the shot, leaves it high in the zone for Davies. Davies shimmies high in the zone, drifts to the right wing wall. Now he'll backhand it around the boards and in behind the net. Cataford and Stanek working for it there. Stanek swung it to the front. He was pulled down by Otavainen. Penalty upcoming against the Firebirds. Keeping it alive is Davies. He's lassoed. Got the puck to the middle, but was touched up by Hayden. And there's the whistle, and the Silver Knights get their second power play as Sloan Stanek keeping his feet moving behind the net, hauled down by Ville Otavainen. There'll be a holding call with exactly 2 minutes remaining in period 1. Silver Knights another chance to jump in front. And so far in this period, Silver Knights have been going to the dump and chase, going to work on the forecheck below the dots, and largely they've been outworking the Firebirds deep in their own zone. Lazinski, Connolly, McLean, Cormier, and Lavoie on this top unit. Silver Knights power play 0 for 1 thus far. Off the face-off, near wall, McLean gets it back to the point. Cormier will drag it to the middle. Now top of the right circle, Connolly. Side of that for McLean, whips it across it. It's wired wide by Lavoie around the boards and out of the zone. Raphael Lavoie, great look at the back post and just shanked it wide. You can see the reaction on Lavoie as he looked up to the sky. He knew he had it on his stick. Connolly enters the zone with speed. Left wing against Nelson. He'll work behind the net. Finished hard into the boards. And Connolly went in awkwardly. He's getting up slowly. Appears to be all right, but having words with the referee on his way out as he thought he was taken to the wall from behind by Nelson. Connolly and Nelson both jawed each other as play continues, and Cormier gives for Lazinski through center. 1:15 on the power play and in the period. Lazinski dumps it in. Right goes D to D behind the net. Goyette sandwiched by McLean, couldn't advance the puck. Right in the corner trying to keep it alive, does so. Here's Rode, he smacks it off the boards and all the way down. Strong penalty killing for the Firebirds so far in this game. They entered the game, as we mentioned, 28th in the league. Under a minute remaining in the period and power play. Coughlin leaves it back in his own zone. Second unit out for the Silver Knights. Hemmerling with speed over the Coachella line, dropped it back. It was knocked down by Hayden. Puck still in the Coachella zone, taken by Sapovalev, left wing corner for Davies. Mitchell Stevens has lost his stick. Here's Coughlin high in the zone. Left circle, Davies, pushed by Stevens. Coughlin has it right point. Now right circle for Euronen, back for Coughlin, one-timer, he scores! Dylan Coughlin, a bomb from the right point, goals in 3 straight, and a power play goal to give the Silver Knights a 1-0 lead. Well, the Silver Knights took advantage of Mitchell Stevens, who lost his stick. There were 2 opportunities to clear the puck on the far side, but Stevens couldn't do anything about it. And the Silver Knights kept it alive, and Euronen from the right wing half wall found Coughlin with space above the right circle, and a one-time clapper finds its way past the blocker of Victor Osman. 27 seconds remaining in the period. Silver Knights strike first. They've now done so in 7 of the last 8. And I believe that is also in 11 of the last 14, if I'm not mistaken. Furcus in the neutral zone, 10 seconds remaining. Sends ahead for Morrison on the right wing. He'll wind it deep. Puck comes around to the near side. Olsen at the left point held in. Coughlin takes it away, plays it back behind his own net. 2 seconds and 1, the period is over. Silver Knights with the only 2 power plays of the period. They take advantage of the power play late in the frame to take a 1-0 lead to the dressing room. The Silver Knights have now scored power play goals in 7 consecutive games, 9 total in that stretch. And for the Firebirds, that is now 6 power play goals and counting in their last 4+ contests. Dylan Coughlin gets his 9th of the season on the power play from Tuomas Euronen and Jeremy Davies at 19:33 of the first period. And for Jeremy Davies, that is AHL point 199. Silver Knights fans, don't forget that Bill and Carol Foley created the Foley Food and Wine Society to celebrate 3 of their greatest passions: world-class wines, exceptional cuisine, and outstanding travel destinations. As a member of the society, you'll have access to an entire portfolio of properties around the globe. The Foley Food and Wine Society offers an exclusive opportunity to join like-minded individuals who seek to experience the finer things. Join for free today and visit FoleyFoodAndWineSociety.com, FoleyFoodAndWineSociety.com. We'll step out when we come back. Doug Latuca's got the news notes, numbers, and highlights. Our first intermission report. Silver Knights lead the Firebirds 1-0 after 1 period of play. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 of the game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.
This is the Henderson Silver Knights Intermission Report. Here's your host, Doug Latuca.
Inside Lee's Family Forum after 1 period of play, it's the Henderson Silver Knights up 1-0 on the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Doug Latuca with you. In between periods, good pace to that first period. Back and forth these two teams went. Both goalies not tested too much. The Silver Knights certainly had a couple of grade A opportunities. The one that comes to mind was the Raphael Lavoie one-timer from the far circle on the power play, which he whistled wide, but no reason to fret because Dylan Coughlin later in the power play would score the periods and game's only goal. Just 27 seconds left in the opening frame. A power play goal from Coughlin as the Silver Knights, as we mentioned in the pregame, back on home ice where they have played extremely well. 7 points in their last 8 home games, 5 wins over that span. Silver Knights well above 500 here at Lee's this season at 11-6-2-1 on the road. They're 7-10-3-1. So certainly a big difference between playing here at Lee's and then back on the road, and it showed for the Silver Knights in that first period. Winning battles in the offensive zones, circulating. The puck's been moving, though, through all 3 zones throughout the that first period. Yes, the Silver Knights did outshoot the Firebirds 12-7 in the period, but pretty fair period in terms of offensive opportunities. Silver Knights with the only 2 power play chances in the period, which probably skewed the shots, but it was a tremendous Firebirds penalty kill back around 8 minutes in that prevented the Silver Knights from scoring the first goal, at least at that point. And this Firebirds penalty kill that comes in as one of the worst percentage-wise in the AHL. Actually, the Silver Knights are just slightly worse on the penalty kill than the Firebirds this season. So 2 PK units that struggle. Silver Knights get 2 opportunities on the power play. First one doesn't go great. And they didn't get much going in the offensive zone. They tried to be aggressive. It's interesting analyzing the way that the Silver Knights are trying to attack the Firebirds penalty kill. Sometimes teams will take it slowly through the neutral zone, and then they'll gain the line, either rim it around or establish themselves just inside the line. Silver Knights were hitting the gas, getting over the line, trying some give and goes, quick passes, slicing through the defense and looking for shots. Give credit to the Firebirds, they broke those up. Silver Knights did get situated much more so on their second power play opportunity, and as a result led to not only the goal, but multiple chances that could have resulted in goals. Listen to some of the highlights from that first period, and as I had mentioned, Silver Knights out shooting the Firebirds 12-7 in the period. They were 1 for 2 on the power play. And it took into the final 30 seconds of that opening period. Silver Knights were knocking on the door, and then they slammed right through it.
Coughlin has it right point. Now right circle for Euronin. Back for Coughlin. One-timer, he scores! Dylan Coughlin, a bomb from the right point. Goals in 3 straight. And a power play goal to give the Silver Knights a 1-0 lead.
An absolute blast from Dylan Coughlin from the right point. That was a couple moments after Lavoie had wired one wide left of an open cage on a one-time cross-slot feed. But Coughlin makes no mistake, rears back, lets it go at the right point, and he beats Ostman for a 1-0 lead. Just 27 seconds remaining in the first period. As you heard Brian mention, that's goals in 3 straight for Coughlin. 4 goals in his last 3 games. He is now up to 7 points in his last 6 contests, and 9 points in his last 9 games for Dylan Coughlin as he continues to rack up the points, now up to 20 in 32 games with the Silver Knights, as he's been kind of going up and down with the Golden Knights, but back on the top pair here today for the Silver Knights, playing with Jacob Megna. Tuomas Euronin points in back-to-back after he picked up an assist on the goal, his 5th of the season. And then Jeremy Davies, 20th helper of the season, had gone 2 straight games without a point, but now 3 points in his last 4 games with the assist there. Fans, the Folded Flag Foundation provides educational scholarships and support grants to Gold Star families, the spouses and children of U.S. military and government personnel who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service of our nation. 100% of all donations collected will go directly toward these scholarships. Join us in our mission to raise $1 million this season and donate today at foldedflagfoundation.org. Fans, people are talking about the Silver Knights, so are we. Join us every week for Horsing Around, a Silver Knights podcast. You've got Brian McCormick and Darren Elliott sitting down each week with your favorite players, coaches, and experts from around the AHL and NHL world. New episodes drop every week on the HSK YouTube channel. Tune in. Let us know who you want to hear from this season, because every week we're horsing around. You heard Brian, if you tuned into the first period, mention that Raphael Lavoie would like to get on the show in the near future. I'm sure he'd be a great conversation. Could be something to look forward to after the Olympic break, rather after the All-Star break. Olympic break ongoing now. And the All-Star break will be this coming week after the weekend. It is 1-0 Silver Knights after the first period here at Lee's. We'll step out, come on back, check up the other scores in the AHL, and then press play on period 2 here at Leeds. Don't go anywhere. The intermission report continues after these messages on 12:30 The Game.
We're back to the Silver Knights Intermission Report on 12:30 The Game.
Silver Knights fans, Lee's Family Forum is fan-friendly, and this season the Silver Knights are valuing every night, each and every night. Fans can enjoy free parking at all home games this season. They can also enjoy the Silver Savings menu with select fan-favorite items available for just $5 at every home game. To learn more about this season's fan-friendly initiatives, visit HendersonSilverKnights.com. Doug LaTuca back with you inside Lee's Family Forum. It's karaoke time as the Silver Knights lead the Firebirds 1-0 on a Dylan Conklin goal power play strike at 19:33 of the first period. Fans celebrate the spirit of the Winter Games with the Henderson Silver Knights. Join us tomorrow for a night of high-flying action, fan competitions, and special Winter Games-themed fun for the whole family. The first 1,500 fans in attendance receive an HSK beanie, courtesy of Sam & Ash Injury Law. Get your tickets now at HendersonSilverKnights.com. Looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be these two teams yet again. Instead, it's a 6 p.m. puck drop. I'll have your pregame coverage at 5:30. Make sure to get your tickets. If you can't, tune in right here on 12:30 The Game or AHL TV, powered by FloHockey. 14 games in total going on around the AHL on this Friday night. The other 13 have some scores, some finals. It's a 3-0 Checkers win over the Griffins. All 3 goals scored in the second period for Charlotte. Final in overtime in Laval, the Rocket edging out the Monsters 5-2. Winners in that one. Overtime goals scored in the opening 2 minutes of the OT period. At Upstate Medical University Arena in Syracuse, New York, it's the Crunch beating the Senators 5-3 in that contest. A winner for the Crunch, 2 goals scored in that first period, and then 2 in the third to get the victory. In Utica, final in a shootout, the Comets best the Islanders 2-0. It was 1-1, end of 2, and then a shootout winner for the Comets, who pick up just their 12th win of the season. In Allentown, Pennsylvania, 6-5 victory for the Penguins over the Phantoms. Another win for the Pens. They have 30 now on the year. In Providence, It's the Bruins beating the Wolfpack 3-1. 33rd win of the year for Providence. Elsewhere in Rochester, the Americans blanked the Thunderbirds 4-0. In Rockford, it's a 5-2 Wild win over the Ice Hogs, just the 12th win of the year for the Wild. An unofficial final in Texas, 2-1 Stars beat the Moose. End of 2 in Calgary, 5-2 Roadrunners over the Wranglers. End of 2 in Loveland, 3-2 Eagles on top of the Wolves. End of 1 in Abbotsford, 0-0 between the Canucks and the Barracuda. And in Bakersfield, the Condors holding on to a 1-0 lead. End of 1 over the Reign. In our game, the only goal, Dylan Coughlin, with 27 seconds left in the first period on the power play as the Silver Knights in front 1-0. Brian McCormick has the second period play-by-play coming up next on 12:30 The Game.
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Back at Leeds, Brian McCormick here with you. Silver Knights with a 1-0 lead over the Coachella Valley Firebirds as Dylan Coughlin gets his 9th of the season, a power play goal late in the first period. Silver Knights had the only 2 power plays of that first period. A strong first period for Cameron Whitehead. He stopped all 7 he saw. And Victor Osman was pretty darn good for the Firebirds as well. Lazinski and Stevens at center ice. Lazinski wins it back. Second period underway. Silver Knights control. This is Cormier out to the red line. He banks it down into the Coachella zone. Nelson will put off the wall and back out to center. This is Lazinski back in his own zone, regrouping with Cormier. Out to center. Lavoie had bounce off his stick. Now Lavoie gets it back, works into the offensive zone, right wing side. Driving wide, taken to the boards. Able to swing it around to the near side. Down from the point is Davies. Now Lazinski takes over on the half wall. Takes a hit from Nelson, powers through it. Lazinski into the slot. His shot blocked by Olofsson. Rolls into the far corner. Hammerling on the forecheck, tangled up with Nelson. Olofsson there as well. Lazinski jockeying with him. Got out to the slot. Davies down for the left point. His shot off the side of the net into the near corner, and Nelson's on again. Good pressure for the Silver Knights to start this second period. As Lavoie wins a puck battle in the left wing corner. Gave behind that for Hammerling. He steered it in front, but Osman there to cover up in the blue paint and get the whistle. Silver Knights in their white jerseys, dark and gold trim. White helmets going right to left in the second. Firebirds in their navy blue road jerseys, red, orange, and teal trim. They go left to right, the AHL affiliate of the Seattle Kraken. Face-off is going to be to Ostman's right. Sapovaliv on the draw for the Silver Knights. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Jugnoth out from behind his own net. Up the left side for Newman. Now cross eyes on Avainen will gain the red line and set hard around the boards into the Henderson zone. Morrison and Sapovaliv far corner battling for it. Coughlin steered it around to the near side. Furcus intercepts back to the point. Long shot on Avainen. A save made by Whitehead. He hangs on for the whistle. Whitehead tracking that through traffic and shrugging it under the right arm. Face-off will be to the left of the Henderson netminder as the top line for the Firebirds stays out with Newman, Morrison, and Furcus. Morrison and Sapovaliv on the draw. Face-off goes back to Avainen, a shot deflection score. Yanni Newman in front. He was falling down to the ice in a wrestling match with Megna, and as he fell, it went off his stick and up over the shoulder of Whitehead. We are tied at 1. Yanni Newman entered the game with 8 goals in his last 10 games, and again, that one was as much Ville Ottavainen's responsibility as anyone's. Ottavainen put a hard, low shot from the right point off the face-off win, and Newman had been knocked down with a stick in the back from Megna, and as he was falling down, kept his stick flat on the ice and ramped it upstairs. So a minute 20 into the second period, we are tied at 1, with Yanni Newman picking up number 10 on the season. And to that point for Yanni Newman, picking up number 10 in just 16 games this AHL season after spending the vast majority of the first half with the Kraken. Puck goes back into the Coachella zone. Wright banks it off the left wing wall. Kometz held it in, but only for a moment, as now it's brought up on the right side by Rakoff into the Henderson zone. Rakoff tried to drop it back, picked off. Good play by Hallam. Silver Knights through center. Stanek able to chip it around Dragicevic and chase it deep into the Coachella zone. Wright rimmed it up the near side. Rakoff goes rink wide. Loshko controls for the Firebirds. In front of the benches, he'll get to the red line and send it in. Bouncing to the side of Whitehead's cage. He'll flick it ahead the right side himself. The Firebirds are changing as Kometz gets it ahead through center. Stanek into the offensive zone. Drops it right circle. This is Hallam. Into the slot for Cataford. A turnaround shot that was blocked as Nelson got in front of it. Nelson plays it off the near wall to himself, and now he'll motor out to neutral ice. Nelson at the Henderson line, banks it off the boards again, trying to get to it himself, but Kometz will step in front. Kometz avoids a hit from McKinnon, and the puck sent out to center by Davies as the Firebirds look to regroup in their own end. Olofsson pressured by McLean, gives for Nelson on the right wing, now Goyette. Goyette forced deeper into his own zone by Gustafsson. Plays it up the wall, picked off at the blue line by McLean, but a whistle on offside. Excellent forecheck work by Gustafsson. He forced the turnover, but Mitch McLean just a hair on the wrong side of the blue line. And have a look of bewilderment on his face as he does not agree with the offside whistle. Faceoff will be just outside the Coachella line. Yanni Newman gets his 10th of the season from Ville Ottavainen, and Logan Morrison at 1:21 of the second period. Logan Morrison now with points in 11 of his last 13 games, with 13 points in that span. Top line out for the Silver Knights: Lazinski, Hemmerling, and Lavoie. Face-off win for the Firebirds at their own blue line. Left wing Hayden gets it out to center. Moves ahead for Stevens into the offensive zone. Dropped it left side for Hayden. He had Lazinski draped all over him, and Hemmerling takes it away. This is Lavoie through center. Gets to the Coachella line. He's caught from behind by Rode. Rode takes the puck away, and Stevens ushers it out to center where it was knocked down by Hemmerling. This is Davies moseying over the Coachella line. Long wrist shot wide of the net. Out of the right corner, a shot from a sharp angle by Lavoie was wide. Caroms around to the left point. Lazinski unable to hold it in as he was pressured by Leighton Rode. Now he'll go to the right wing side at center for Cormier. Left wing Hemmerling. Into the zone, pushed off the puck into the wall by Stevens. Firebirds have it. They'll regroup deep in their own zone as it's up the boards and out to center. And now a 2-on-1 for the Firebirds. Rode and Stevens. Stevens pass across for Rode. It was off his stick and wide of the net. Now Stevens jams it on goal, and a save made by Whitehead, and he'll hang on. Stevens trying to get the pass across. Davies got just enough of it to deflect it out of the reach of Rode, but then Rode off the inboards, but right back to the side of the net. And Whitehead was there and aware to snare her with the glove and get the stoppage. 3.5 minutes gone, second period. Face-off will be to Whitehead's right. Firebirds send out their top line for the offensive zone face-off. Morrison, Newman, and Furcus. Face-off win for Cataford. Silver Knights have control as Hallam will send out to center. That was out of Cataford's reach, but Cataford on the forecheck, able to swat it down into the Coachella zone. Now it's bumped out to neutral ice by Nelson. From the penalty boxes, Cataford threw a hit. Hallam had for a moment. Nelson again banks it through traffic all the way down into the Henderson zone. Coughlin goes D-to-D with Megna. Stretch pass out to center, off Cataford and all the way down. Osman plays it away from the forecheck, but gave it away to Stanek in the corner. Stanek a centering pass, and that was broken up. Good defensive work by Morrison coming back. Puck chipped to the Henderson line, knocked down by Megna. Megna in traffic, sent up the middle of the ice for Hallam. Hallam motors over the Coachella line. Right wing for Stanek on his backhand, threw it on goal, punched away with the blocker by Osman. Left point shot by Megna, saved by Osman, and the rebound covered up. Good quick puck on goal from Megna down from the left point. Osman made the save and kicked the rebound right into the skates of Stanek and Nelson, who were jockeying in front of him. That deadened the puck and allowed Osman to cover up. A good job defensively by Nelson as he had Stanek stick under stick, allowing Osman to reach out and corral the puck and get the stoppage. Face off to Osman's right. And Matthias Sapovalov out for the draw. He's got Connolly and Euronin on his line. Off the face-off, puck came to the left wing. Chalet banks it off the boards out to center. Setoff back at his own blue line, corrals it. Chalet on him aggressively, and Setoff having trouble, turned it over. Raykop, right circle, fires, blocker save made by Whitehead. Sapovalov will work through center ice. He gets to the red line and dumps it in. Osman behind his own net to stop it. Played it dangerously for right, but he was able to go D-to-D for Dragicevic on the right wing side. Now back for right again, left wing, as the Silver Knights moderate forecheck pressure from Matthias Sapovalov. Firebirds just playing catch in their own end. Dragicevic and Wright going back and forth 3 times. Now Wright will send out to the neutral zone, past Chalet and all the way down, and they're going to call icing against the Firebirds. Firebirds unhappy with that as Chalet was engaged with Kometz in front of the benches. They're saying that's why the puck went by. So another icing against the Firebirds. Another offensive zone face-off for Ryan Craig, who will send out his 4th line of McLean, Fleming, and Gustafson. And after a discussion, the referees are going to come to the conclusion that I just came to, which is that this faceoff will move out to the neutral zone. Edward Chalet looking to make a play on the puck. Kometz had him stick under stick, and that's why the puck went by, so no icing. And a faceoff at center ice. 5 minutes gone, second period. Tied at 1, Dylan Coughlin at the end of the first. Yanni Newman at the beginning of the second. Now a false start on the faceoff here. Jordan Gustafson is going to be asked to leave. Jordan Gustafson wondering how he was called for a false start when his stick never went on the ice in the first place. Well, he can throw you out for a delayed start too, I do suppose. McLean will take the face-off for the Silver Knights instead. And that face-off is won back by Goyette. Bouncing puck at the center ice circle. Silver Knights take it away. Here's McLean on the left wing, chasing after the puck in Coachella territory. Rims it behind the net. Otavainen on it there for the Firebirds. Up the left side, off Goyette. Bouncing at center in front of the benches. McKinnon overskated, so did Gustafson. McLean has it on his stick. He'll one-hand it into the Firebird zone, and Otavainen will send it back out. Novak gave it for Jugnoth racing into the zone. Left circle, curls back, fell down, but able to steer it back to the point for a long shot deflected wide by McKinnon. Puck behind the Henderson net. Davies gave it away to Novak. Here's a pass in front, deflected wide, jammed in front, save made by Whitehead. As McKinnon and Novak both had whacks at it, Whitehead kept it out. Lazinski gets it as far as the Coachella line. Now he carries it in, but it's an offside as Mitch McLean was ahead of the play. Another good sequence for Whitehead as the 4th line for the Firebirds, creating some chances. Below the goal line, Ian McKinnon brought it in front. A stuff-in backhander and a follow-up rebound by Novak, and Whitehead got them both. Face off in front of the Henderson bench. Stevens on the draw against Lazinski as the Silver Knights, after the offside whistle, get the full first line out. Hemmerling and Lavoie hopping over the boards. Silver Knights win the face-off, and Megna rims it in. Behind the net, slowed down by Osman. Olofsson will bank it back up the near side. Knocked down by Megna. It stays deep. Left wing corner, Lavoie. He's got Olofsson draped all over him. Lazinski coming in to help. Penalty upcoming. It's going to be against the Firebirds. Olofsson was battling with Lavoie, and with the free arm did a little too much. And it's going to be a holding call against Coachella Valley. 6:10 gone, second period. Silver Knights will head to their third power play when we come back from a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 the game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.
Is it true that Lee's Liquor owns more locations than any other liquor store in the Valley?
Is it true that Lee's has the widest selection and best prices?
Is it true that when you scan the QR code at checkout, you get exclusive discounts at all Lee's Family Forum events?
Right side, Bowman looking, side of the net for McLean. Backhander scores!
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
6:10 gone, second period, tied at 1. Silver Knights heading to their third power play of the night. They are 1 for 2 thus far. Silver Knights fans, the IFL champion Vegas Nighthawks getting set for another season at Lee's Family Forum. And now, Quentin Randolph, Jaden Delore, and head coach Mike Davis have another title in their sights. Full season plans now available for the 2026 Nighthawks season at Lee's Family Forum. Secure your seats now and visit nighthawksfootball.com. nighthawksfootball.com. Gustav Olofsson in the box for holding. Second holding penalty of the evening for the Firebirds. Silver Knights power play 1 for 2 as they start with the second unit. Sapovalov, Hemmerling, Euronin, Coughlin, and Davies. This is the unit that produced the Coughlin goal. Coughlin center point, left side, Hemmerling, fanned on the one-timer, shanked it wide of the net. Sapovalov jumps on it. High slot, Coughlin has it. Right corner, now in front for Euronin off feet from Davies. That was blocked in front. Davies has it again, right point. Challenged by Hayden, gives left point for Coughlin, left half wall Hemmerling. Hemmerling, left corner Euronin. Carrying above the circles, center point Coughlin, wrist shot, blocker save Osman. 30 seconds gone on the Olofsson minor, a takeaway by Stevens, he'll hammer it all the way down. Whitehead stops it behind the net, Coughlin picks it up. Second unit staying on the ice for the Silver Knights. 45 seconds gone on the power play. Davies at his own blue line. Pass ahead for Coughlin. Went off the stick of Rode and in deep. Coughlin gets to it behind the Coachella net. Plays it to the left wing half wall. Davies rimmed it back behind the net. Bouncing to the far side. Goyette chases it down. He'll hack it all the way down for Coachella. Now the Silver Knights will change up the power play unit as Cormier, McLean, Lazinski, and Lavoie onto the ice. Davies still out there. He'll be replaced momentarily by Connolly. Cormier into the zone, dropped it back for Lazinski, poked off his stick and forced out to center. Good defensive stick by Goyette. Silver Knights back in, left side, Connolly, sharp angled shot, save Osman. Rebound swept to the near wall, but Lavoie's on it there. Watched by Ottavainen. Ottavainen with a long stick, knocked it off Lavoie's stick. Puck still up for grabs in the corner. Good work by Lavoie as he battles through stick checks. Now McLean over to help, will bank it out to the right point. This is Connolly, 20 seconds left on the power play. Center point Cormier, right side Connolly, pass across Lazinski, a feed down low, broken up. Good stick again by Ottavainen. Puck up the near wall, Lavoie on it there, pressured by Goyette. Ottavainen in the corner against Lazinski, out to the point. Right side, this is Connolly. 2 seconds in one, power play is over. Connolly, center point for Cormier, left side Lavoie, one-timer blocked by a sliding Ottavainen. Lavoie has it again, he carries behind the net. Ottavainen broke his stick and a penalty called against Ville Ottavainen. Ottavainen broke his stick, he put two hands on Lavoie and the arm went up immediately. It's another holding call against Coachella. Moments after we got back to 5-on-5, Ville Ottavainen blocked a shot, broke his stick, and tried to stay with Lavoie, and he did too much with the free hands. And it's another holding call. The Silver Knights go right back to the power play. Silver Knights to their fourth power play of the night, 11:40 remaining in the second. Firebirds have been called for 3 holds and a hook. Second unit will start this power play as well. Sapovalev out with Hemmerling, Euronin, Coughlin, and Davies, and the Firebirds just keep giving the Silver Knights opportunities. Face off to the right of Osman. Silver Knights want it back, but it comes out of the zone. It'll go all the way back to Whitehead. Coughlin working out of his own zone. Viljotovainen in the box for holding, as we mentioned during that penalty kill last. That's an important penalty killer for the Firebirds to be without. Here's a takeaway by Olofsson, but he couldn't get out of the zone. Kept it at the right point by Coughlin. Coughlin has it, center point. Now right side, Davies. Back for Coughlin, one-timer, scores! Everything going in for Dylan Coughlin, his second power play goal of the night. The Silver Knights have a 2-1 lead. Well, the Silver Knights have 2 power play units. If you're scouting either one, you know you need to take away the Lavoie one-timer on one unit and the Coughlin one-timer on the other. And Dylan Coughlin from high in the zone unloading on the feed from Jeremy Davies. And for Jeremy Davies, his second assist of the night. That is AHL point number 200 for Jeremy Davies. So the Silver Knights power play has capitalized twice. The Firebird power play has not gotten a look yet. In the neutral zone, Silver Knights have it. And a whistle as the puck was brought in by Lazinski offside. Well, we asked Ryan Craig earlier today, Dylan Coughlin, who's been there, done that, a veteran. But each time he's come back from the VGK, he's come back with a little extra oomph. And for Ryan Craig, he says, well, he's just been a consummate pro. But his last 3 games, interrupted by in and outs with the VGK, he's had 2 multi-goal games. He's scored in 3 straight games. He has 5 goals in his last 3 games, including an overtime winner. Dylan Coughlin, everything going in. And on top of that, that's now 11 points in the last 11 games in the American Hockey League for Dylan Coughlin. From the neutral zone, Megna blasted on goal. Osman gloved it down. Wright is back for it. Plays it up the near side. Ferkus couldn't get it out. Shot on goal by Megna. Deflection saved by Osman. Canifer a chance, and it fluttered wide of the net. Puck would not sit down for him. Down from the right point, Kometsa's shot and a save by Osman. He squeezes it for the whistle. Dylan Coughlin, his second power play goal of the night, his 10th goal of the season from Jeremy Davies and Matthias Sapovalev at 8:48 of the second period. And with that, Jeremy Davies with AHL point number 200. Face-off coming to the left of Osman. Silver Knights have the top line out as they win the draw. Lavoie on the far boards is bumped off the puck, and the Firebirds get out to center. Rakoff on the right wing trying to drive wide on Setoff. Setoff took the puck away. Goes in behind the net, backhands up the right side and out to neutral ice. Quick regroup, Jugnoth up on the right side, but Rakoff couldn't get a stick on it. Silver Knights turn it. Lavoie into the offensive zone. High slot, Lazinski, a shot that's blocked. Jugnoth got a stick on it, deflected it over the top of the net. Down from the right point, Komet centers. Rakoff intercepts, gave it away. High in the zone, Hemmerling, left circle, Lavoie, it skipped over his stick. Bounces behind the Coachella net. Loshko into the far corner, collides with Komets. Puck in there, skates, Lavoie over to collect. Now right side, Komets. Right corner, he and Lazinski battling. Lazinski fighting through a stick check, tried to cut to the inside. Knocked off his stick, taken away Loshko, he'll bounce it out to center. 9:45 remaining in the second. Silver Knights have a 2-1 lead. They're out shooting the Firebirds 20-12. And both Silver Knights goals coming courtesy of Dylan Coughlin on the man advantage. Just off the bench, Novak will dump it in for the Firebirds. Puck caroms around to the near side. Megna hacked it up the wall. McLean unable to get it out, but Megna can as he skates it ahead and sends out to center a pass that was knocked down by McKinnon. Bounces onto the stick of Gustafsson on the left wing into the offensive zone. Now left half wall, McLean a shot, and Osman made the save. It rolled behind him. Where is it? The whistle stops play. Osman did not have the post sealed. McLean thought he had banked it in, and he nearly did. Osman had that under his pad right on the line. I wonder if they might even take a look at this. Osman did not have the puck sealed. It banked off his right hip and landed behind him, and apparently just stayed out. 9:10 remaining, second period. Silver Knights have a 2-1 lead. We'll take a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game, the Silver Knights Radio Network.
Hey Silver Knights fans, I'm Brian McCormick. Everyone's talking about the Silver Knights, and so are we. Join Darren Elliott and I each week on Horsing Around, a Silver Knights podcast. We'll sit down each week with your favorite players and learn what makes them tick both on and off the ice, and we'll catch up with experts from around the AHL and NHL hockey worlds. We'll have some fun too. A new episode drops each week, available on the Silver Knights YouTube channel, so join us each week, because Darren and I will be right here, horsing around.
We're back to the action on the home of the Henderson Silver Knights. 12:30 The Game.
9:10 remaining, second period. Silver Knights have a 2-1 lead. Silver Knights fans, Cheers and Beers returns for all Silver Knights Wednesday home games this season. 12-ounce cans of Bud Light for $2 on Wednesdays. And tomorrow, for Henderson winter games, will also be a Cheers and Beers game. Make sure you get your tickets. Visit HendersonSilverKnights.com, HendersonSilverKnights.com. Face-off coming to the right of Osman. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Dragosivic puts it off the boards and all the way down. This will be an icing unless the foot race can be won by Rode, and it is. Rode got to it first for Coachella. Carried high in the zone, but turned it over to Euronin. And Euronin will stretch one down the ice. Connolly's going to try and beat out this for icing, and he beats out the icing whistle, and now they blow it down. A little confusion as linesman Aaron Story waved it off and then blew it dead. So it is an icing against the Silver Knights, and the faceoff will come back into the Henderson zone. A couple of icing whistles that have been debated in this one, only one of which was overturned. Faceoff to Whitehead's left. Top line out for the Firebirds as Morrison will settle in for the draw against Sapovalev. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Nelson at the point, wrist shot, shrugged away by Whitehead. He jumped up in the air to knock that one down. At the left point, Olofsson controls. Newman into the slot. Furcus, a shot save made Whitehead. Furcus on the rebound, back out to the blue line. Olofsson, right point, Nelson sends it around the boards. Behind the net, Morrison, it was out of his reach. Cormier took it away. Up the boards, Sapovalev, and now out to center. Euronin chasing after it. Euronin got a hand on Newman and pulled him down, and no call. Yanni Newman looked like he got a hand from Euronin in the face to pull him down, but we play on. Matthias Sapovalev in the right wing corner, centers in front. Nelson knocked it down. Firebirds take it away. Furcus through neutral ice, wanted to dump it in. It was gloved down by Coughlin, then he lost the handle on it. Puck sent out to the right point. Morrison will wind it deep. Newman behind the net. Left corner, Furcus. Left point, Olofsson. Furcus again. Spinning away from Sapovalev on the left wing wall. Leaves it in the left circle for Newman. Newman working out towards the left point. Shot towards that was blocked. Came to the slot. Adavainen scores. Bit of a broken play. The point shot was partially blocked, but it found its way into the high slot. And Ville Adavainen snaps it past Whitehead. We are tied at 2. Well, Ville Adavainen is not your traditional offensive powerhouse from the blue line. He came into this game with 1 goal and 12 points in 37 games this season. But he had the primary assist on the Newman deflection, and he beats Whitehead to the glove here from just above the hash marks. 7:45 left, second period. Silver Knights have had a 1-0 lead and a 2-1 lead, both courtesy of Dylan Coughlin. The Firebirds have answered back both times, Yanni Newman and now Ville Adavainen. As the Firebirds dump it in, Whitehead stops it behind the net. Plays it up the near wall. Hallam chips it to the middle of the ice. Stanek will gain the red line and send it deep. Jugnoff in the near corner. Stanek got there first, but his centering pass missed everyone and goes all the way back into the Henderson zone. Komet's racing back for it, trying to outskate Raykopf behind the Henderson net. He does so. Outlet pass for Cataford. Cataford has some trouble with it, but he's able to get it to Stanek, but Stanek turns it over at the Coachella line. Chalet. Now Otavainen, a pass out to center was partially deflected by Stanek. Silver Knights take it away. Hallam into the offensive zone. Rink wide for Stanek. It went under his skate. Jugnoff on the far wall was harassed by Stanek, who took it away again. Stanek behind the Coachella net, out to the left point. Komet rims it around the boards, back to the right wing corner. Jugnoff and Cataford go after it together, now behind the net. Hallam battling against Otavainen. Raykopf on the near wall was surprised by Komet, who took it away. He got in front for Hemmerling, a shot and a save made by Osman, and he hangs on. More good work on the walls for the Silver Knights, and Ben Hemmerling got a look in the low slot. Osman got the left pad down to keep it out. Ville Otavainen gets his second of the season from Logan Morrison and Yanni Newman at 12-12 of the second to tie the game at 2. 6:45 remaining now as the faceoff will be to the right of Osman, and the Silver Knights again trending in a very familiar direction. They've given up 15 shots with 6:46 remaining, and the Silver Knights have just not given up a lot of shots on goal of late. They gave up only 26 on Wednesday against San Diego, and that was including an empty netter. Puck along the near half wall in the Coachella zone. Working for it off the wall is Lavoie, being harassed by Dragicevic. Puck came free and cleared by Hayden, now chipped in by Rode, who skates after. He got the stick up on Davies, and no arms in the air there. Puck behind the Henderson net. Davies out of the near corner, plays it up the wall near side. Lavoie, he'll whip it rink wide. Cormier in the neutral zone, trying to one-hand into the zone. He got it in against Wright. Now he tries to center. Puck popped high in the air, batted out of the air by Lazinski, but gloved down by Dragicevic. Out to center for Rode, but it was out of his reach. Davies over the center circle will give left side. Lavoie over the Coachella line. Driving into the left wing corner, now behind the net. Lavoie still with it. Right point now for Davies. Drifts to the middle, waits into the left circle. Davies still with it, around behind the net. Davies doing a lap around the zone. Now pulls up in the right wing corner, got it in front, but looking for Lavoie, was out of his reach. And Rode will skate it away for Coachella. One-on-one against Cormier, his shot blocked. As it skips into the corner, Rode gets after it again. Now the Firebirds look to go to work in the offensive zone. There's a pass in front, deflected on goal, saved by Whitehead on Novak, and he covers up. Novak staying right at the top of the blue paint. The centering feed came from McKinnon. And the chip on goal, Whitehead stays with it and gets the whistle. 5.5 remaining, second period. Tied at 2 at Lee's Family Forum. We'll take a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 the game, the Silver Knights Radio Network.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Less screen time. Less scrolling.
It's keeping the young guys in line.
Nice.
Nice.
What do you got?
Winning more games. Good health. Health for the whole team. Health with my family.
Probably stay off my phone.
Eat healthier. I'm gonna try and read the book that Meg's got me. So, yeah, start reading.
What's your New Year's resolution?
We're back to the action on the home of the Henderson Silver Knights. 12:30 the game.
5.5 remaining, second period. Silver Knights and Firebirds are tied at 2. Silver Knights fans, Toby Mack is headed to Lee's Family Forum on February 14th with his Hits Deep Tour. Head to the heart of Henderson for a night full of Toby Mack's greatest hits, as well as some of his new songs that are rapidly climbing the charts. It's Toby Mack's Hits Deep Tour, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Get your tickets now. Visit leesfamilyforum.com, leesfamilyforum.com. Face-off is to the right of Whitehead. Firebirds top line on the ice for the offensive zone face-off. Morrison and Cataford squared off. Face-off win for the Silver Knights. Coughlin will work his way up the far wall and send out to center. Pass through the skates of Hallam. Nelson back at his own blue line. Knocks it out to neutral ice. Cataford plays it back in. Delayed offside. Silver Knights touch up to get onside as Nelson goes back behind his own cage. Now Nelson steps out. Firkus up the middle of the ice will work to center. Firkus over the red line. Now over the blue is Newman. Puck was knocked off his stick, taken away by Stanek. Left wing Stanek gets to the red line, sends it in deep. Near corner Nelson, D-to-D. Olofsson keeps it moving up the wall. Morrison, dangerous pass at the middle of the ice. He gave it away, but Stanek was bumped off the puck by Nelson. Firebirds recover. Here's Olofsson over the Henderson line. Tried to move it left wing, picked off by Coughlin. Coughlin put it on goal, they score, it's Firkus. Dylan Coughlin went to go D-to-D, changed his mind, and accidentally put the puck on his own goaltender. And Whitehead, surprised, made the save, but Jagger Firkus on the rebound gives the Firebirds a 3-2 lead. Well, Dylan Coughlin, it was just a short circuit of the brain. He wanted to go D-to-D to Megna. He saw Firkus was between them, and he just short-circuited and steered the puck backwards onto Whitehead, and Whitehead made a left pad save out of pure surprise and had no chance on the rebound where Firkus tucked it underneath. So a mistake for the Silver Knights. They trail for the first time tonight with 4.5 to play in the second. As Jagger Firkus takes the gift. Goyette in the neutral zone, being hooked at from behind by Gustafsson, able to nudge it into the Henderson zone, but not deep. McLean got it back out. Jugnoff now will fire it in, and Whitehead will stop it behind his own net. Kometz will play it up the right wing side. In front of the benches, McLean pulls up, plays it to the middle of the ice, turned it over to Novak. Away come the Firebirds again. On the right wing, Goyette into the corner. Otavainen is in deep. He's challenged by Kometz. Puck comes out to the right point. Novak covering there, leaves it for Otavainen. Rink wide for Jugnoff. Top left circle, Novak bouncing puck, knocked away by McLean and out of the zone. Good defensive work by Mitch McLean. Fleming in the neutral zone, leaves the puck behind. Now he regathers. He'll carry in on the left wing side. Fleming whacked out from behind, got to Gustafsson. His shot was blocked. Firebirds take it away. Hayden through center by himself. His teammates are changing. He'll send it in deep. Jagger Firkus gets the goal, his 17th of the season, unassisted at 15-16 of the second period. As we mentioned, coming into this contest, Firkus had goals in just one of his last 15 games. That being a 2-goal contest at the beginning of the week. Puck dumped into the Henderson zone. Whitehead moves it far side, but Hayden is there for Coachella. He backhands one across the ice. Down for the right point, Dragosivic gets to it. He'll bring it high in the zone. He blew a tire and fell down, but from his stomach kept it in. Rode into the slot for Hayden. That pass deflected away by Davies. Silver Knights away. 3-on-3 into the zone. Left side, Hemmerling. Pulls up, waiting for help. Down to the corner. This is Lazinski. Above the left dot. High slot Davies, a one-timer. He missed the net. Lavoie went for it. His shot was blocked into the corner. Silver Knights stay on it. Below the goal line is Hemmerling, worked on by Charlie Wright. Wright takes it away. Getting help from Dragosivic now, who will work his way to the left wing side. Plays it up the wall. Hayden will bank it clear. It rolls down into the Henderson zone, and the Firebirds change. 2.5 to play, second period. Firebirds a 3-2 lead as Lazinski steers it down into the Firebird zone. Near corner Nelson rims it up the left side for Lashko. Lashko slides it clear down to the Henderson zone and not far enough for icing. Megna has to go back to get it. Megna plays it up the near wall, out to center. Stanek gets it to the Coachella line but couldn't get it deep. Now Olofsson will move it up the left side. Poked ahead. Unable to get it deep was Olofsson. Second effort, he gets it into the zone. It's gloved high in the zone by Megna. D-to-D with Coughlin. Out to center. This is Cataford over the Coachella line. Right side for Hallam. Pulls up, play it down the wall, intercepted by Chalet, and he'll hoist it out between the blue lines. Coughlin sent it ahead for Hallam into the zone. Puck popped in the air. Cataford was after it, but it was kicked away from him into the near corner. Nelson got up the wall. Megna pinching at the left point. Keeps it deep. Cataford knocked off the puck. Lashko rimmed back up the near side. Rakoff will chip it clear. Out to center. Coughlin gets to it at the Henderson blue. Minute and a half left in the period. This is Hallam in the neutral zone. Over the line for Fleming. Left side, this is Cataford working into the corner. Takes a hit from Morrison. Puck in his skates. Cataford and Hallam both trying to dig it out. Hallam will rim it around. It went off the referee and nearly popped in front, but Furcus was there to grab it for the Firebirds. Bounces it out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Newman. Going one-on-one against Setoff. Good defensive play by Setoff to stay with Newman and force him to the boards. Under a minute to play in the second period. Jugnoff, right circle, Furcus. Looking for a backdoor pass for Newman. It was well behind him. Taken off the boards by Fleming and bumped clear. Furcus will bring it back in on the right side. Drifts to the middle. Here's a shot by Otavainen and a save made by Whitehead. And he'll hang on for the whistle. Well, Ville Otavainen, as we mentioned, he came into this game with 12 points on the season. If I didn't tell you that, you'd think he might be making a Norris push with the work he's done tonight. And a strong save by Cameron Whitehead to keep this a 3-2 game with 41 seconds. And by the way, if you're watching for the first time, if you thought that Otavainen was making a Norris push, you would think that Dylan Coughlin is the other guy he's competing with. Face-off is going to be to Whitehead's left. Dylan Coughlin with 2 power play goals for the Silver Knights. For the Firebirds, Yanni Newman, Ville Otavainen, and Jagger Furcus. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Right point, Jugnoff, wrist shot blocked. Hayden high slot, a backhander fluttered wide. Up the far wall, Lavoie will send it out to center. Jugnoff at his own blue line, backpedals with it. Gave it off for Newman. Now Jugnoff in his own zone again. Harassed by Lavoie. Lavoie poked it off his stick. Good forecheck pressure. He's able to bank it out to center as Jugnoff, and Hayden will rim it deep. 15 seconds in the period. Rode on the near wall. One hands it behind the Henderson net. Cormier plays it to the right wing side. Lavoie under some pressure. Protects the puck. Gets help from Gustafsson. Gustafsson turned it away at the blue line. 5 seconds left. Davies with a takeaway on Rode. 2 seconds and 1. The period is over. Well, for the Silver Knights, they were controlling the pace of play, and then some blown coverages in the D zone that led to the Ville Otavainen goal that tied it, and a mistake. Dylan Coughlin, uncharacteristic for certain, as he put it on his own goaltender in a, again, what I would just call a short circuit mentally. And Jagger Furcus there to jump on the present. And with that, the Firebirds take a 1-goal lead into the second intermission. Silver Knights fans, Kids Day Sundays are back this season. Every Sunday home game, kids 14 and under can take a post-game slap shot on the ice and receive a special giveaway. Join us for our next Kids Day on March 1st against the Colorado Eagles, when the first 1,500 kids will get a lucky squish. Get your Kids Day tickets now. Visit HendersonSilverKnights.com. Kids Day Sundays, HendersonSilverKnights.com. We'll step out when we come back. Doug Latuca's got news, notes, numbers, and highlights. Plenty to cover through the first 40 minutes on the second intermission report. Firebirds lead the Silver Knights 3-2. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game, the Silver Knights Radio Network.
This is the Henderson Silver Knights Intermission Report. Here's your host, Doug Latuca.
Well, the Silver Knights outscored 3-1 in the middle period, and they trail the Coachella Valley Firebirds 3-2 through 40. Doug Latuca with you here at Lee's Family Forum after 2 periods of play. Very eventful second period. One that started with a Firebirds goal about a minute and a half in, and then it was Dylan Coughlin getting his second goal of the game, and at that point it had been Dylan Coughlin 2 and the Firebirds 1. But Coachella with a couple goals towards the back half of that period and an uncharacteristic turnover from Dylan Coughlin. I almost said it was Coughlin with his third goal of the game, but one for the other team. It was actually a save from Cameron Whitehead, and the rebound ricocheted just outside the blue paint, and the rebound tucked home by Jagger Firkus. And that's where we stand, 3-2 Firebirds after 2 periods. Shots are 22-18 in favor of the Silver Knights. Coachella Valley with 11 shots in the second, Silver Knights with 10. The Firebirds have yet to be granted a power play in this game. Silver Knights 2 for 4 on the man advantage, and as I mentioned, Coughlin has both of those goals. We've had one hooking call and 3 holding calls, and 2 of them on Ville Atavainen, who has a goal for the Firebirds as well. One was very strange. The Firebirds were coming off of the penalty kill, and then not even 10 seconds after, they get back to 5-on-5. Atavainen lost his stick. It was broken on a block shot. Then he grabs hold of Lavoie, and the Silver Knights go right back to the power play. And with that one, they did score 27 seconds after the penalty. Well, really in that period, the Firebirds had 4 opportunities on Cameron Whitehead. I know that it says they have 11 shots in the period, but 4 were of high goal scoring potential in the period, and they ended up scoring on 3 of the 4. The one they did not score on was actually the last one, where Atavainen was looking for his second goal of the period, and he ripped one from near the slot, and a save by Whitehead right into the gut. But Silver Knights again defending well, but the one mistake, big mistake at least, ends up in the back of their net. We'll listen to all the highlights, but one point to notice in that period, we did not see Trevor Connolly for the back half of that second period. He was involved in an awkward collision along the end boards in the first period, where he had gone down for a second or two, kind of laying on his stomach, had his gloves towards his helmet area, thought, oh boy, this could be bad. A boarding potential was not called. It was more of a tie-up, and he ended up face first, belly first into the end boards, went down, got back up, did return in the game, but we didn't really see much of him. And really at all, we didn't see him in the back half of that first period. We saw a lot of Sloan Stanek. We saw Joe Fleming up to the third line. And then at the end of the period, it was Raphael Lavoie getting a right wing shift with that fourth line with Jordan Gustafson and Mitch McLean. So we will keep an eye out for Trevor Connolly in that second period. The hope is that he can return, and if not, they'll probably lean on the likes of a Sloan Stanek or a Jackson Hallam to pick up the load, as they need a goal to tie going into the third period. Fans, now it's time for the second period highlights. What's right on the ice, presented by Sam & Ash, the official injury attorneys of the Henderson Silver Knights, because you deserve what's right. Didn't even take 2 minutes into the period. With the Silver Knights up 1-0, the Firebirds had an answer.
Morrison and Sapovalov on the draw. Faceoff goes back to Adavainen, a shot deflection score. Yanni Newman in front. He was falling down to the ice in a wrestling match with Megna, and as he fell, it went off his stick and up over the shoulder of Whitehead. We are tied at 1.
A deflection for Newman. Adavainen had the shot, tipped by Newman. Morrison, the secondary assist. We're tied at 1-1. But fast forward about 9 minutes into the second period, the Silver Knights practically on back-to-back power plays after an Olofsson hold at 6:11. That did not cash in. And then another power play 9 seconds after it had expired at 8:20. Ville Adavainen in the box for holding. And Dylan Coughlin, pretty much the same goal that he scored in the first period, buries another one on the power play.
Coughlin has it, center point, now right side Davies. Back for Coughlin, one-timer, scores! Everything going in for Dylan Coughlin, his second power play goal of the night. The Silver Knights have a 2-1 lead.
Coughlin, another goal, his 10th of the season. And Jeremy Davies, the primary assist, his second assist of the game, now up to 200 career AHL points. As for Coughlin, it is 5 goals in his last 3 games. Of course, a couple NHL games in between, but still 5 goals in the last 3 for Coughlin, and at that point a 2-1 Silver Knights lead. But as I mentioned, we'd hear from Adavainen kind of avenging his penalty at 8:20. The Firebirds would once again knock things up.
Newman working out towards the left point. Shot towards that was blocked. Came to the slot. Adavainen scores. Bit of a broken play. The point shot was partially blocked, but it found its way into the high slot. And Ville Adavainen snaps it past Whitehead. We are tied at 2.
Yeah, so Morrison, who had the secondary assist on the first goal of the period, had a shot, it was blocked, and then it spit right to Adavainen in the slot, and he wired it past the catching glove of Whitehead, and we were tied 2-2. So the Silver Knights led a 1-0 and 2-1 lead, slipped through their fingers, 2-2. And then in the final 5 minutes of the period, a mistake from the Silver Knights goals scorer, and it ended up in the back of the HSK net.
Tried to move it left wing, picked off by Coughlin. Coughlin put it on goal, they score, it's Fergus. Dylan Coughlin went to go D to D, changed his mind, and accidentally put the puck on his own goaltender. And Whitehead, surprised, made the save, but Jagger Fergus on the rebound gives the Firebirds a 3-2 lead.
Tried to go D to D and instead kind of hitched on it and yanked it back off the left pad of his goaltender Whitehead, and the rebound right there for Jagger Fergus to punch it home. And a 3-2 Firebirds lead after 2 periods here at Leeds. Firebirds outscored the Silver Knights 3-1 in the second period. Silver Knights will try to even up the score as we head into the third period, a game in which the Silver Knights have outshot the Firebirds 22-18, but trail on the scoreboard by 1. Silver Knights hoping to snap this extended losing stretch that they are on after the 3 straight losses on the road. Fans, Hotel Californian continues to redefine luxury in sunny Santa Barbara, California, featuring dazzling spaces from celebrity designer Martin Lawrence Bullard. The iconoclastic enclave, part history, part imagination, and all Californian, continues to drive the revitalization of Santa Barbara's funk zone while upending conventional expectations. Pack your bags, book your stay at hotelcalifornian.com. And Silver Knights fans, Lee's Family Forum is the perfect setting for a big night out. Whether you're hosting a staff outing or treating your family on a special occasion, our group and premium ticket options will ensure a first-class experience for your party. Plan the perfect game night for everyone and visit HendersonSilverKnights.com. Firebirds lead the Silver Knights 3-2 through 40 here in Henderson. We'll step out, come on back, check some scores around the AHL, and then we'll drop the puck for the third period here at Lee's. Don't go anywhere. This is the second period intermission report on the Henderson Silver Knights radio network. 12:30 the game.
We're back to the Silver Knights Intermission Report on 12:30 the game.
Silver Knights fans, make sure to take advantage of fan-friendly Fridays at Lee's Family Forum. Concessions on the main concourse are 25% off for every Friday HSK home game. Get your tickets for upcoming Silver Knights home games at HendersonSilverKnights.com. Firebirds lead the Silver Knights 3-2 after 2 after Coachella outscored the Silver Knights 3-1 in that second period. Scores elsewhere, ones at least that impact the Silver Knights in some Pacific Division action that is going on now. In Abbotsford, it's 2-2 between the Canucks and the Barracuda, both teams scoring twice in the second period. In Bakersfield, through 2, it's 2-1 Reign over the Condors. A final in Calgary, Wranglers more than doubled up by the Roadrunners, 7-3 the final score in that one. The Eagles fall to the Wolves 5-4 in that contest. Well, the Silver Knights will look to stage a comeback in the third period. They've had a couple leads in this game. They've let them slip through. Firebirds have scored 3 of the last 4. We'll also see if Trevor Connolly comes back for the third period. Brian McCormick has the play-by-play of the third period coming up next on 12:30 the game.
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Back at Lee's Family Forum for the third period. Silver Knights trail the Firebirds 3-2. Firebirds scoring 3 goals in the second period. And now for the Silver Knights, they must buckle down in this third because it has not been a strength for them of late. The Silver Knights have given up 15 goals in the third period in their last 10 contests. Some of those empty netters, but nonetheless. Meanwhile, the Firebirds are +9 this season in final frames as we are underway in the third period. Puck rolls down into the Henderson zone. It's a delayed high stick that is now wiped off as Cormier makes the touch, and the Silver Knights will get out to center as Lavoie in front of the benches backhands it into Coachella territory. Firebirds looking for an icing, but there's no icing, so Olofsson has to play it. He held up for a moment, and now he's got Hemmerling and Lazinski all over him. Silver Knights control behind the Coachella net. Hemmerling out to the left point for Davies. Now right point for Cormier. Working his way to the left wing side, able to hold the line, sends across, Hemmerling scores! Ben Hemmerling on a beautiful setup from Lucas Cormier, and we are tied at 3. This all starts on a puck dumped in. The Firebirds thought there was icing. The whistle never sounded, and Gustav Olofsson was swarmed by Ben Hemmerling. Silver Knights forced the turnover. Cormier working high in the zone, and the pass from the left point to the right dot. Hemmerling collects and fires to tie the game. Just 38 seconds into the third period. A tremendous start to the third period for the Silver Knights. And Lucas Cormier has extended his point streak to 7 straight games. Puck bouncing down into the Firebird zone. Icing this time is blown as it just got to the goal line ahead of Tyson Jugnoff. Faceoff will come back into the Henderson zone. Just a phenomenal pass from Lucas Cormier, who was walking the blue line from right to left. As he got near the wall on the left wing side, just whipped it across. Left point to right dot, and Hemmerling, the right-handed shooter, in one motion collects and lets it rip. Off the face-off to the left of Whitehead, Silver Knights control. Megna banks it up the boards and past Ottavainen down into the Coachella zone. Ottavainen has it. As Doug mentioned during the intermission, we did not see Trevor Connolly late in that second period. He is on the bench, however, so available, it would appear, when called upon. And he is on the ice now. He has just hopped over the boards for his first shift of the third period. Sapovaliv will one-hand it down into the Coachella zone. Ottavainen plays it around the boards. Furcus deep in his own zone, pass up the middle of the ice. Morrison has it. He'll skate ahead 2-on-2 with Newman. Newman driving the net, left wing. Morrison fires, blocked by Coughlin. And it deflects into the mesh and out of play. Ben Hemmerling gets the goal, his 10th of the season from Lucas Cormier and Jeremy Davies at 38 seconds of the third period. It is a 3-point night for Jeremy Davies, who already had his 200th point on the second Coughlin goal. Now he's working on the next 100. Face-off in the Henderson zone to Whitehead's right. Loshko on the draw against Lazinski. It's a false start. They'll try again. Off the face-off, bouncing puck goes behind the Henderson net. Chalet got to it, working up the right wing board, sends it towards the net, he scores! Edward Chalet from the far wall just spun it towards the net. Andre Loshko was stationed in front, looks like he got a piece. It is Andre Loshko, and the Firebirds are right back in front, 4-3. That was a shot from distance. Edward Chalet off the face-off, chased the puck behind the net, worked it around behind, and worked his way up the far wall, and when he got to the half wall, he just turned, whirled, and off the back foot fired. And Andre Loshko was wrestling in front with Christopher Setoff and got just enough to tick it past Whitehead. So the Silver Knights tie the game in the opening minute. The Firebirds answer right back. A minute 43 into the third period. It is a 4-3 Coachella lead as Cormier from the neutral zone put it on goal. Osman patted it away. And it's one-handed out to center by Rakoff. Fleming works his way back in. He was slashed on the hands. No whistle coming. Chalet on the left wing boards for the Firebirds. Sends it out to center. Bouncing puck to the Henderson line. Rakoff working against Davies into the left wing corner. Ducks away from a check. Rakoff leaves it back to the left point. Olofsson rims it around the boards. Far side, Davies. He'll mosey out to center and gives for Gustafsson. Over the red line, went to dump it in. It was gloved down by Gustafsson. He's still forced back behind his own net. Goes D-to-D with Nelson. Pushed it ahead for Novak. Novak met at his own blue line by McLean to take it away. Now the Silver Knights will regroup at their blue line with Megna. McLean ahead for the blue line and Fleming. Forces into the Coachella zone. Silver Knights changing. Puck held in on the left wing side by Megna. Now pass to the slot. Novak intercepted, but then Cataford took it away behind the Coachella net. Into the right wing corner. Cycles it for Hallam. Hallam wrestled to the boards by Nelson. Olofsson took the puck away. Olofsson will sky it out to neutral ice where Coghlan intercepts and dumps it in again. Silver Knights touch up to get onside. Nelson in the right wing corner of his own zone. Plays it around to the near side. Cataford intercepts. Cataford beside the net. Tried to drive to the front. It popped over the top of the net and in behind. Wright is on it. Up the wall. One-handed pass Megna all the way down. It won't be far enough for icing as Coghlan has to go back to play it. Firebirds go for a change. Osman lost his stick. He went to try to get it and he pushed it further away from himself. Puck is behind the Coachella net. Osman's stick is high in the zone. It's at the tops of the circles. Silver Knights have it. Here's a look for Euronin. His shot blocked to the corner. Osman still has no stick. No one's given him one. Firebirds have it. And it's worked out to center by Hayden. Gets to the red line. Now Rode will carry it in. Rode dumps it behind the net. Osman now is going to go get his stick. It's at the top of the circles. He's hesitant to go for it. Now he goes for it as it's pinned in deep. And the Firebird netminder has his twig once again. Euronin knocked down high in his own zone, but got out to center. Sapovalov on the right wing will drive into the offensive end. Stripped away by Ottavainen. Ottavainen turned it over on the near side to Euronin. Euronin taken to the boards in the near corner. 4 minutes gone, third period. 4-3 Firebirds lead. Connolly feeds the point. Kometz, left point, set off. Wrist shot, glove save made by Osman. And he hangs on. Osman was leaning the wrong way and threw out the glove to get the whistle. Andre Loshko gets his third of the season from Edward Chalet at 1:43 of the third period to put the Firebirds back in front. Shots are 25-19 for the HSK. Silver Knights are 5th in the league in shots per game. They are 5th in the league in shots against, which is to say the last several weeks they've had the puck most of the time. Silver Knights win the offensive zone face-off. Left point, Davies, long shot, glove saved by Osman, and he's able to hang on with the glove with Tanner Lazinski waiting there for it. Meanwhile, behind the net, Lavoie and Dragosimic having some extra words. Silver Knights have had 4 power plays in this game. They are 2 for 4. Firebirds have not yet had a man advantage. Silver Knights top line will stay out for the offensive zone face-off, as will the Firebirds. It's the Lazinski line against the Morrison line, best on best. 4:15 gone third period. These two teams meet again tomorrow night, the final game before the All-Star break, which will be televised locally on the Spot Vegas 34 and also nationally on NHL Network if you want to join us on either forum. Darren Elliott will join the call. Silver Knights have it. Right point, Cormier, a blast that's blocked by Newman. Cormier gets it again, right point. Newman's all over him, though, and forces it out to center. Davies will retreat, and now fires it back in after the Silver Knights had vacated the zone. Nelson rims it up the right side. Firkus, challenged by Davies, poked it past him, out to center. Here come the Firebirds, 2-on-1. Working from the right side, Whitehead a save on Morrison as he took a whack from Lazinski. Play goes on, puck bounces to the near side. Firkus there along with Newman. Puck came up the wall, Lavoie gets it out to center. Lazinski stripped it away from Olofsson and chips it deep into the Firebird zone. It rolls behind the Coachella net. Nelson protecting it in his skates. 5 minutes gone, third period, 4-3 Firebirds lead. Puck bounces up the near side, Fleming with a hit as he took Olofsson to the boards. Lazinski on the loose puck, high slot Lavoie, his shot skipped wide of the net as he took a whack on the hands as he let it go. Firebirds control. Meanwhile, away from the play, Fleming threw Firkus down to the ice. Lazinski on the forecheck has Nelson all tied up. Silver Knights take it away. Fleming took a hit, puck along the far wall, bounced to the left point and passed Megna out to center. Firebirds get a quick change. Coughlin at the red line, gives for McLean over the Coachella line. He's caught from behind by Rakoff, and then a hook on the hands on Rakoff and a penalty called. Mitch McLean had the puck stripped away and in reflex reaction reached back for it and got Rakoff on the hands. It will be the first power play of the night for Coachella, 5.5 into this third period. Firebird power play is 16th in the league at 19%. Silver Knights 29th overall on the kill at 77.4%, and an important kill for the Silver Knights to keep this deficit at 1. Doug gave you the scoreboard update between periods. For what scoreboard watching we will do at this point of the season, still a lot of hockey left, but the Roadrunners were 7-3 winners tonight in Calgary. Silver Knights 3 points back of the Roadrunners for that final spot in the Pacific playoff picture. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Nelson, wrist shot, save made by Whitehead into the midsection. He hangs on for the whistle. Firebird power play has Stevens, Nelson, Rakoff, Hayden, and Goyette. This is their second unit. And McLean in the box for hooking for the HSK. Face-off win for the Firebirds. Goyette fires, save made by Whitehead. The rebound knocked to the corner by Megna. Goyette plays it back to the blue line, but Nelson wasn't there, and the Firebirds have to retreat as Cataford will chase Nelson all the way back behind his own net. 20 seconds gone on the McLean minor as Nelson emerges and skates out to center. Now left wing has Rakoff into the zone. Pulls up at the half wall. Goyette there to help him as Sapovalev challenged. Right point Nelson. Right half wall Rakoff, back up top Nelson, now left point Goyette. Left half wall Stevens, whips it across, shot by Rakoff and a save made by Whitehead. Rebound into the corner. Rakoff and Cataford tangled up, Cataford went down, play goes on, and Coughlin sends it 200 feet. 50 seconds gone on the Firebird power play as now they'll send out their top unit. They have Jugnoff, Furcus, Morrison, Newman, and Chalet. Furcus into the offensive zone, right wing, fed it across for Newman. It went off a skate, taken away. Lazinski will chase it out to center as Hallam pokes it ahead. It'll roll down into the Firebird zone, and Morrison regathers for Coachella. 45 seconds before McLean can return. Jugnoff through the neutral zone. Red line drops it back. Newman has it. He'll drop it back for Chalet. Chalet right into the teeth of the check from Sapovalev. Falls down at the Henderson line. Trying to chip it ahead is Lazinski. He gets it out to center, and now Sapovalev carries ahead. Tried to dump it in, he put right into the shin guards of Furcus. It bounces back to the Henderson line, and Morrison will rim it around the boards at Henderson ice. Left point, Jugnoff. Left half wall, Furcus. Firebirds get set up. Now left point, Chalet. Center point, Jugnoff. Chalet left side again. Send it across for Newman. One-timer, he fanned on it. Morrison puts it right back through the blue paint and set off one-handed away from harm. Stays in the zone, Jugnoff. Left point, 2 seconds and 1. McLean's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Coachella power play is 0 for 1. Morrison has it center point. Left side, Jugnoff. Curls, drags. Shot was blocked by Sapovalev. Has the loose puck and lifts it out to center. 8 minutes gone, third period. Firebirds have a 4-3 lead. As Wright will regroup with Dragicivic in his own zone, and a pass out to center is chipped in deep by Rode. Whitehead out to play it. Gives for Davies on the far wall, played it up the boards for Stanek. Stanek rink wide through center. Cormier's up on the rush. He'll get it deep. Charlie Wright behind his own net. Gave it away in the far corner to Cataford. Cataford wheeling high in the zone. Wrist shot was blocked. Puck sent behind the net. Hallam was knocked down by Dragicivic looking for a call, but none coming. From the slot, a shot by Stanek is high and wide. Left point, Cormier holds in again. Stanek was bumped off the puck. Firebirds control. And it's laid down the ice by Rode into Henderson territory, sent right back out by Cataford. Cormier in front of the penalty boxes, went to dump it in, turn it over. Chalet gave ahead, here's Loshko into the Henderson zone. Loshko fires, save made by Whitehead. And the rebound picked up by Cormier on the near side. Coughlin will send out to the neutral zone. Good action in this third period. Silver Knights turned it over. Loshko for Chalet, 2-on-1. Chalet across for Rakoff, the pass was behind him. Picked up by Lavoie. Silver Knights will turn it now through center. Cormier to the red line, dumps it in on goal, gloved by Osman. He'll choose to hang on to it, and the whistle will stop play. 9:05 gone, third period. Firebirds have a 4-3 lead. We'll step out for a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 of the game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Silver Knights fans, AHL TV is powered by FloHockey. Catch every Silver Knights game this season with the AHL's official streaming partner, offering affordable pricing throughout the season. To ensure you don't miss a minute of the action, visit FloHockey.tv and subscribe today. FloHockey.tv. Firebirds have a 4-3 lead over the Silver Knights. Both teams tallying in this third period. Ben Hemmerling just 38 seconds into the third tied the game at 3. But Andre Loshko's redirect a minute 5 seconds later put the Firebirds back in front. That is where we stand with a face-off coming to the right of Victor Osman. Face-off win for the Firebirds in their own zone. Jugnaut rims it around the left wing boards, out to center. Rode gets to it, and now it's a race to the net. Rode, a shot save made by Whitehead, and the rebound behind the net. Rode collects it. Rode got in a foot race with Coughlin, got a good shot off. Rode again in the high slot, looking for a lane, lets it go, blocked in front. Connolly on the loose puck, sends ahead. Here's Euronin through center. Gets to the red line and dumps it in. Euronin chasing after it into the near corner, got behind the net. Sapovalov controls. Sapovalov left wing corner, back behind the net for Euronin. Taking over now is Connolly into the right wing corner. He'll leave it for Kometz down from the blue line. Kometz back up top. Here's Connolly, wrist shot through traffic. That was blocked in front, deflected wide. Hayden will hack it off the boards and out to center. Connolly goes all the way back in his own end to get it. Both teams get changes as a stretch pass. Kometz will chip it in deep. Midway point of the third period. Firebirds a 4-3 lead as Firkus chips it out of the Coachella zone. Cormier just off the bench, handles at his own blue line, D-to-D with Kometz. Now Fleming over the red line, he'll dump it in. Osman stops it behind the cage. Osman moves it away from the forecheck pressure of Gustafsson on the near wall. Fleming bumped it back in deep. Far side now Nelson, up the wall Firkus. Gets it out to center for Morrison. Olofsson's up on the rush, he gains the Henderson line. Olofsson toe drags around Cormier, and a sharp angled shot went over the top of the net. Rattles out to the point, Nelson holds it in. Near side Cormier, off the glass, out to center. In the neutral zone, Gustafsson was caught from behind by Newman. Following up is Cormier, he'll motor over the Coachella line. Right wing Cormier lost the handle on the puck. Firkus takes it away and lifts it clear. Just over 9 minutes left in the third period as Davies brings it all the way back behind his own net. Both teams get partial changes again. Davies waits in the trapezoid, now steps out. Up the middle of the ice, sends out to center. Lavoie will redirect it in. Dragicevic in his own zone gets to it. Hard rim around the near wall. Handled by Novak. Brought out to center. Over the red line. Dumps it cross corner. Dueling dump-ins in this third period as the Firebirds looking to manage the clock. Lazinski got out to center, but Lavoie hack over his stick. Charlie Wright will send it deep again. This is Megna behind his own net. Takes a hit from McKinnon, but got up the left wing side. Lazinski will stretch it to the Coachella line. Hemmerling challenge at the blue line. Puck in his skates, kicked out to center again. Lavoie gives for Hemmerling into the Coachella zone. He's knocked down. Loshko will bank it off the boards and clear. Firebirds challenging zone entries. Lazinski's into the offensive end. Left wing corner for Hemmerling as the Silver Knights get deep. Hemmerling out to the right point. Coughlin a shot blockered away by Osman. Far half wall, Hemmerling left it back to the blue line for Megna. Now left point where Lavoie is covering. Left half wall, Lazinski. Top line for the Silver Knights. Wright and Lazinski tied up with one another. Lavoie came over to help. Dragosivic knocked it away from him. Firebirds handle. Goyette kicks it out to center. Bouncing puck. One-on-one against Coughlin. Here's Goyette. Left wing boards. Stutter step. Coughlin stays with him and takes him to the boards. Puck in the corner. Lavoie back for it. He and Hayden are tangled up. Forecheck pressure for Coachella. Hayden comes out of the corner with the puck. Feeds the high slot. This is Leighton Road into the left wing circle. His pass across broken up. Good stick by Megna. Silver Knights out to center. This is Cataford. Left wing Stanek. Long shot kicked away by Osman. Rebound into the far corner. Stanek on it there. Not many whistles. Here's a pass in front. It went underneath the stick of Hallam, who was alone in front, but it went through, and the Firebirds able to clear. Handled by Stanek. Dunked back in, but a whistle. Stanek was offside. 7:15 remaining in the third. 4-3 Firebirds have the lead. We'll step out for a break. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game. You're listening to Silver Knights Hockey on the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network. Out. Right side, Bowman looking, side of the net for McLean. Backhander scores!
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
Silver Knights fans, world-class gymnastics are coming to Lee's Family Forum on March 7th. It's the 2026 American Cup, bringing elite men's and women's artistic gymnasts from around the world to Henderson for a competition formatted for the 2028 Olympics. Over the years, this event has welcomed many of the biggest names in the sport, including Simone Biles, Shawn Johnson, Gabby Douglas, Nastya Lukin, and Paul Hamm. For tickets and information, the 2026 American Cup, March 7th at Lee's Family Forum. Visit leesfamilyforum.com. Face off at center ice, 7:15 left third period, 4-3 Firebirds lead. Silver Knights with 2 power play goals from Dylan Coughlin and Ben Hammerling tallying early in the third period. Firebirds with goals from Yanni Newman, Ville Ottavainen, Jagger Firkus, and Andre Loshko. Puck dumped into the Coachella zone. Olofsson played it up the near wall. Chalet chipped it clear at his own blue line. Set off hacked it ahead, but it goes up into the penalty boxes out of play. Face off, I believe. What side of the blue line was set off on there? It looked like it was deflected, and it looks like it was just outside the zone. So the face off will be at the face off dot on the neutral zone side of the Henderson line. 7 minutes remaining, third period. Silver Knights had 1-0 and 2-1 leads in this game, and Dylan Coughlin scored both of those goals. But it was Dylan Coughlin who had a mental malfunction as wanted to make a pass, changed his mind mid-motion, and with the spasm, the puck went on goal where Jagger Firkus stuffed it in, and that has been the one glaring mistake for the Silver Knights tonight, that right now in a 1-goal game is a difference maker. Firebirds carry out to neutral ice. Firkus and Newman 2-on-2. Firkus over the Henderson line, a shot whipped over the top of the net. Firkus gets to it behind the net. Morrison and Newman in support, but a good pass by Cormier out of a crowd that Euronen got to center. In front of the benches now, Connolly will lift it in deep. Morrison deep in his own zone, takes a hit from Euronen. Big hit on Morrison as Morrison went down, and Morrison is still down. Morrison just getting back to his knees now as Euronen came in thumping, and Morrison, he is huddled over as he makes his way to the bench. Still hasn't gotten there. This is Gustafsson into the offensive zone for Henderson. Now right circle, McLean. Play it back for Coughlin. Chipped out of the zone by Newman. Firebirds get a change. 6 minutes remaining as Fleming into the zone. Silver Knights are offside. And Logan Morrison over on the Coachella bench looking certainly woozy, and now making his way down the tunnel to the dressing room. Tuomas Euronen came flying in for the hit. I'll tell you what, folks, see the replay here in the building, and I'm not totally sure Tuomas Euronen's 2 feet were planted. And Morrison, that's a big loss. And you can see over on the Coachella bench, Derek Laxdal, who has not been pleased with the officiating throughout the night, just shrugged his shoulders and made a boarding sign with his hands. Calmly, not irate over on the bench, but kind of more matter of fact. The Silver Knights might have gotten a break there as well as the puck rolls down to the Henderson zone. Kometz chasing after it with Hayden. Kometz gets there first, goes back behind his own net. Hayden draped all over him, taking hard to the boards. Set off there to support, got up the left side for Lavoie. Looping back to the dots in his own end and now working his way up ice. Through center, Lavoie fights through a stick check, gains the line, left wing. Going wide on Otavainen, puck goes behind the net. Lavoie still with it, now feeds the point. Kometz, long shot, blocked in the slot, went off of Lazinski. Now Hemmerling takes it to the near wall. Hemmerling out to the left point for Setoff. Setoff double clutches, puck on goal, saved by Osman. Otavainen on the loose puck off the glass. Good keep at the left point by Setoff as he kicked it back in. This is Lazinski on the far wall. Now to the right point for Kometz. Now left point for Setoff. Into the left circle for Lazinski. No shooting lane. He'll bow out high. His shot this time is blocked. It deflects up into the mesh and out of play. Just over 5 minutes left, third period. Firebirds protecting a 1-goal lead. We'll step out. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 the game. It's the Silver Knights Radio Network.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Less screen time.
Less scrolling.
It's keeping the young guys in line.
Nice.
Nice.
What do you got?
20 more games. Good health. Health for the whole team. Health with my family.
Probably stay off my phone.
Eat healthier.
I'm gonna try and read the book that Meg's got me. Yeah. Start reading.
What's your New Year's resolution?
Now back to Silver Knights hockey. Here's Brian McCormick.
100 years of thrills, laughs, and joy. The Harlem Globetrotters return to the heart of Henderson on February 26th to celebrate their 100-year tour. From gravity-defying dunks to game-changing tricks, experience the team that redefined basketball. Enjoy a fan celebration from the moment you arrive with epic new pregame magic, unforgettable postgame interactions, and one of the most fan-fueled experiences in sports. February 26th, the Harlem Globetrotters at Lee's Family Forum. Get your tickets, visit leesfamilyforum.com. Silver Knights trying to push. The Firebirds protecting a 4-3 lead with 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Logan Morrison has gone to the dressing room for the Firebirds. Their top line center. After a hit from Tuomas Joronen. No call on the play. That's a big loss for the Firebirds down the stretch here. Silver Knights on offensive zone face-off have Cataford out to take it. Face-off win for Cataford. Back to the point. Coughlin fanned on the shot. Dylan Coughlin in hat-trick search. Carries behind the net, sends in front for Stanek under his stick. Comes out to the point, good keep by Cataford. Into the right wing corner, sent towards the net, blocked down by Olofsson. Cataford has it again. At the left wing corner now, Rode all over him. Gets it out to the point. Megna dumps it back in, it rattles to the near wall. Stevens will play it around the boards behind his net. Nelson in the far corner, Cataford on him. Up the boards, not out. Kept in by Megna, put in front, blocked down by Olofsson. And the Firebirds clear as Stevens backhands it down. Not far enough for icing, the Firebirds change. 4.5 left in regulation time. Megna high in his own zone, gives for Coughlin in the neutral zone. Coughlin changed his mind, malfunction, lost the puck, and it's dumped into the Henderson zone. Very similar, but in a much better place than the play that led to the Furcus goal. Silver Knights through center. This is Connolly left wing. Working on Otavainen, dropped it off. Sapovalova's shot skips wide of the net. Puck working its way up the near wall. Firebirds clears, Lashko chips it off the glass. 4 minutes left to play. Davies back in his own end. Up the right side, Joronen off his stick and in. Joronen with an arm around Jugnauth. Penalty upcoming. It's going to be against the Silver Knights. Tuomas Juronen put his right arm around Jugnoff, pulled his shoulder and spun him around. And it's an offensive zone holding penalty against Tuomas Juronen. Derek Laxdal's won a couple of calls in this game he hasn't gotten. And Tuomas Juronen doesn't agree with that one, but Derek Laxdal, if he was banking them, he'll gladly take it now because the Firebirds have not only a chance to extend their lead, but this power play comes with 3:49 left in regulation time. So this will also be big for the Firebirds in clock management. And you know what else is big for the Firebirds? Logan Morrison's back on the ice. That is huge for Coachella as he went to the dressing room looking very woozy, and he is back for this power play. Morrison, Newman, Furcus, Jugnoff, and Chalet on this top unit for the Firebirds. Their power play 0 for 1 on the night. Here's Chalet on the left wing side. Puck rimmed out to the left point for Jugnoff. Now right circle, Newman. Back up top, Jugnoff. Top of the right circle, wrist shot, save Whitehead. Rebound bounced out high in the zone. Sapovalov to it, he'll clear all the way down. 20 seconds gone on the Juronen minor. Hallam aggressive on the kill, but Jugnoff protects it behind his own net, and now Hallam goes off for a change. 3.5 to play, third period. Silver Knights trailing by 1. Chalet gets to the red line, now the Henderson blue, left at left side, Newman, he'll pull up. Now Newman rims it around to the left wing side. Chalet has it in his skates. Left wing corner, Furcus. Silver Knights 3 men to the puck on this kill. They force a takeaway, and Megna will skate it to center with Hemmerling. Hemmerling busting down the right side, drives to that backdoor feed. Save made by Osman. Lunging stop with the right pad to stop Megna. A glorious shorthanded chance for Megna and Hemmerling, and the Firebirds are bailed out by Victor Osman. 55 seconds before Juronen can return, and the Firebirds are changing that power play unit. Ben Hemmerling's speed off the right wing side creates the 2-on-1, and Megna was robbed. Silver Knights take it away at center. Kometz will fire it all the way down. Osman stops it behind his own net. Nelson back to get it. Nelson, Olofsson, Hayden, Stevens, and Rode. 2 defensemen out on this power play for the Firebirds at this point in the game. Rode dumps it behind the net. Hayden after in the right wing corner. Out to the point, Nelson. Left point, Olofsson. Nelson again. Nelson, wrist shot blocked by Sapovalov high in the zone, and set off will clear. 15 seconds before Juronen can return. 2 minutes left in regulation time. We'll keep an eye on Cameron Whitehead. Nelson out from behind his own net. Pass up the middle of the ice off of Newman and all the way in deep. No icing. Whitehead stops it. Out of the box is Juronen. We are back to 5-on-5. Firebird power play is 0 for 2. 1:40 left in regulation time. Will Whitehead head to the bench on the way up the ice? Set off in his own zone. Gives for Kometz. Kometz to the neutral zone. Sends it ahead. It's chipped in deep to the bench. Oh, it's an icing. Lavoie was looking for the tip in the neutral zone. They say he missed it, and they're going to rule it an icing. Silver Knights are arguing, but the officials, it's being confirmed by referee Hayden Verbeek that the puck hopped over the stick. Contact was not made, and it's an icing whistle. Whitehead was on his way to the bench for the extra skater, but now he'll have to go back for the face-off in the Henderson zone. As here in the building, they are again showing the replay of the 2-on-1 chance. Jacob Megna absolutely robbed by Victor Osman, who has stopped 28 of 31 tonight, and none better than that one. Silver Knights win the face-off in their own zone. Cormier lifts it high in the air, out to center, glove down by Olofsson at his own blue line. Touched by Connolly. Silver Knights into the zone. To the bench for the extra skater goes Whitehead. Henderson net is empty. Lavoie left wing half wall. Towards the net, saved by Osman. The rebound flicked away from the oncoming Connolly. Stays in the zone. Cormier back to the point. Davies now left circle. Lavoie towards the net, blocked. Came back to Lavoie again. Gives near side for Connolly. That pass deflected away on a stick by Olofsson. This is McLean behind the net. Now edge of the trapezoid, Lavoie. Right corner, Connolly. Back right point, Cormier, under a minute to play in regulation time. Connolly has it right half wall. Left point, Cormier. Left circle, Lavoie. Lavoie watched by Newman. Now left corner for Lazinski. Threw it in front, poked away by Osman, and it comes out of the zone. Davies on his own blue line. 30 seconds left in regulation time. Davies dumps it in. Olofsson on the near wall, protects it against the kick plate. He's swarmed by white jerseys. Puck still pinned in his skates. 20 seconds left. Puck is still pinned in the corner. Now Lavoie works it out. Rims it out to the left point. Davies has it there. Left corner for Lavoie. Worked on by Nelson. 10 seconds remaining. Puck taken away, but then given away. Right point, Cormier held in. Here's Davies, a long shot. That skips wide. Lavoie put it in front. That deflects to the corner. 2 seconds in one. Cormier, one last try, is blocked, and it's over. The Silver Knights a push to the finish with the net empty, but not enough, as Victor Osman holds the fort, and the Firebirds are 4-3 winners. The Silver Knights, who had the puck for long stretches tonight, it was the top line of the Firebirds that was their most productive and unlikely offensive source, Ville Ottavainen. But for the Silver Knights, they coughed up the lead with a mistake in the second period, an unusual, I won't even call it a mental mistake, I'll call it a betrayal of the senses for Dylan Coughlin that led to a Jagger Firkus goal. And while the Silver Knights tied the game at the first minute of the third period, they gave the lead right back 1 minute and 5 seconds later, and push as they might, they never recovered. The play of the game without question, the sparkling play of the game, is Victor Osman, a shorthanded 2-on-1 lunging pad save to keep Coachella in the lead. Jacob Megna's shorthanded chance, a golden opportunity, but the Silver Knights could not convert. And at that point, well, that was Victor Osman, who gave up 3 goals tonight, but you wouldn't blame him for any of the 3. He was terrific throughout and was at his best when the Firebirds needed him most. We'll step out. When we come back, we'll wrap things up prior to the post game. The Firebirds are 4-3 winners over the Silver Knights. Brian McCormick here with you on 12:30 The Game, the Henderson Silver Knights Radio Network.